once you hit that stage, like you're probably a bad guy. But like if you're just getting hate on comments on YouTube, it's like if it happens in real life, like you're probably an asshole. But if it happens, like if it doesn't happen,
I'm going to push back on that because in reality, like I'll give a recent experience. I've been on this this run of comedy shows where I'm developing my next tour. It's admittedly like a workshop show situation, and I'm doing it in small venues and looking to try things out. And as such, I've been doing meet and greet with the entire audience after to get feedback, to like thank people for helping me work on material. And there's a guy who absolutely met me after the show, great, like, oh man, this is awesome. And the same guy then turned around and just trashed me on Reddit. And I was like, okay, I actually responded to this guy, which is probably the dumbest thing in the world that I ever could have done. But I was like, hey man, like from my perspective, it seemed that the show was entirely well received by the audience. I mean, and if this guy who's just trashed it disagrees, I'd love to hear that. And then the guy comes right back in and he says, oh no, actually, I like really enjoyed it. He says, I don't mean this like in a negative way, and I did enjoy it. But that's the PC feel, so whatever, dude. And that's my problem, is that I looked at it and I had to just delete Reddit off my phone.
No, it's hard not to look at it. It really is. It's one of those things where it's like, I know I shouldn't, but I kind of just want to know. Like, I was super proud of this. What did other people think? And you'll see that one person's like, this is the worst shit I've seen in my life. And you're like, well, that hurts.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And I mean, and to what Scott was saying, no, like, everyone's gonna be super nice to your face. And their pussy asses are gonna be nice to your face, and then turn around and in the anonymity and the safety of their
yeah. But what I'm saying is like Alex Jones, like people are following him, like giving him the finger, or like
that again.
Like, but that's because you're a nice you're a good person. The intentions are good, so nobody's gonna say that to your face. But like so you're safe there. If they started doing that to you in public when we're out like getting at Wawa's, and they're like, I'd be like, oh dude, like maybe you're kind of a dickhead. But like it's never happened one time. It's always like, oh dude, I'm a huge fan.
That's a really good point though. I feel like there's definitely this threshold where like if you are a big enough douchebag, you will have people that aren't afraid to say that to your face. Like I bet right now, harkening back to Dr. Disrespect, if he went to Wawa, someone might say something about that.
Yeah.
10 out of 100 would say something, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like, I'm sure like Kevin Spacey gets that too, like, oh dude, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I think that's the line.
I care about being a good guy, like the stuff that I do is supposed to, like, my intention is to make people happy. I want to be wild and crazy and like, make people laugh and stuff. And I talk about this a lot, but have you ever heard of the concept of life review, where when people have near-death experiences, they experience death, and then they have their whole life goes by in like profound, unfathomable detail, and they experience everything in their life as the people who they had the influence on. So everybody who you bummed out, then you feel what you made them feel in like crazy detail, because there's not like the limitations of our finite mind. And so like I think about that all the time, and like I know I've been a real dickwad in a lot of my life, but I really proactively want to like just be good and have like make people feel good, and so that I have a better life review later.
I like that. That's super cool. That's very wholesome too. Well, that guy on Reddit should feel real bad for what he said about you.
Well, I'm not trying to make him feel bad, but like, I just like pointing out that, like, hey man, what are you doing? I mean, I don't know, but yeah. In any case, haters gonna be.
No, for real, fuck that guy. He won't say it. I'll say it. Fuck you, buddy. Yeah.
Haters gonna be haters, and what are you gonna do, man?
It is what it is. At the end of the day, man, it's about having fun, and it seems like what you're doing these days is something that you're super passionate about, and the fun really translates. So I think that's the most important part.
Well, thanks, man. I'm not doing anything different than I ever did. I'm just the stakes are higher because now I'm like 50. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, my show's coming together really, really like well, and I'm starting to really be excited about going on stage and what's coming up.
What's the process for you for making a video? I mean, you make a video a day.
Oh, what's his process like for making videos? Let me tell you, it's pretty awesome. And I know that because I went and made a video with Charlie for his channel right after we got done recording this podcast. And the video is totally epic. And you know who else has a pretty awesome process for making videos? This company, Liquid Death. You'd think they were a water company, but they're actually kind of a media company because everything they make is so awesome. And the company started as a joke, like, oh, hey, why don't we make a water company called Liquid Death? And it'll be like, we're really angry at plastic because it's destroying the environment. We'll have water in infinitely recyclable aluminum cans. And we'll make a bunch of like super messed up videos and do campaigns that are just completely outrageous. And man, that's what they did. The company is on fire. They donate like 10% of their their profits to actually saving the oceans. Like they put their money where their mouth is, and they put their mouth in really weird places because they're a really weird company and they're awesome, man. And now they make teas. They've got all kinds of different flavors of sparkling water, all kinds of killer merch. And if you go on Amazon Prime, you can get like free shipping. It's killer. And if you go to liquiddeath.com/Stevo, you can see just how nuts they are with all this crazy merch and everything. I'm just here to tell you that Liquid Death is epic, and that if you're not drinking it, you might not be that cool. So get yourself some Liquid Death. Check out liquiddeath.com/Stevo. Buy it at all the stores. They're taking over the world as they save it. It's just a wonderful story, man. And I love Liquid Death. So let's get back to it.
Right? And so do you wake up in the morning and you're like, dude, look at this guy, and you see what's trending and you start researching it and make a video, or do you already have it like set up in your head of what you're going to do for the week?
So it kind of depends. I definitely don't schedule like for a week or anything, but it really kind of depends. So I never like force myself to do anything. I get like really excited just to see what's going on. Like if there's anything.
The Haktua girl.
Yeah, the Haktua girl. I love that kind of stupid shit.
Yeah.
So like all of that, I just get excited. If I see it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I could definitely make some jokes about this, or if it puts a smile on my face, or even things that I know people don't care about. Like Magic the Gathering is kind of a niche, but I love Magic the Gathering. So I'll be like, I kind of want to make a Magic the Gathering video today. So it all just depends. And the process is super quick because I'm just yapping at a camera. So I just sit down, I'll hit record, I'll just start spitting absolute gobbledygook. And then maybe like 45 minutes later, I'm like, run it.
Do you do different takes? Is it like one take Jake for 45 minutes and you cut out the best part?
And it's only one camera, so it's always a jump cut.
Yeah, exactly.
And man, like I'm such a neurotic maniac. Like, there's a jump cut there. We have to figure out something to cover that with. And I just kind of wish I could lay back and do it the way you do it.
Oh no, it's like the laziest editing ever. It's just I use Sony Vegas, which I don't think any human beings on the planet still use anymore. I don't think the company knows that still exists. It's an old editing software. It's fucking archaic, but it's easy. You just cut here, cut there, and it just jump cuts together. And it's multiple takes, but I'll just sit there for like 45 minutes just riffing, and then just take what I thought were the most cohesive parts and put them together.
And do you edit yourself?
For those videos, yeah, I edit all of that myself just because it's such tiny little edits. But for like the bigger stuff, like if we're doing a wrestling event or something, we do have like a team to help.
Do you run the final cut by your team for them to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't say this?
No, I just let it rip. It's just very raw. It's just this was just me 45 minutes ago doing all this.
Yeah. If you were on a deserted island and you can only take 5 YouTube channels with you, which would your favorite YouTube channel be to take?
I have to go with Summoning Salt. This is going to help you with the gamers. Summoning Salt does a lot of like speedrun documentaries that I just find fascinating.
What are those? Speedrun?
So speedruns are when you take like a beloved game. So like on Summoning Salt's channel, you'll see a few up there. So like the history of Tetris world records. Like, come on, that's so cool. And it's about trying to beat the game as quickly as possible.
Those guys are just like,
yep, with the rolling techniques. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's so cool.
Didn't somebody just beat Tetris for the first time ever?
Yes, you're talking about. I think you're referring to Blue Scooty, who was this phenom.
Kid?
Yeah, that kid. He absolutely blew Tetris wide open. Like he put it back on the mainstream map, and it was incredible what he did with Tetris.
It had never been beaten before.
What he did had never been done before.
And it happened in the last year.
Yeah. And then after he did it, since he proved that you could do it, others have now been able to do it. It's kind of like breaching the 4-minute mile, if you guys remember that.
Yeah, or the 900 in skateboarding.
Yeah, exactly. So once someone does it, then it leads to this whole new age of discovery and improvement. And it's just so cool to see.
It's so funny. It's like the smart car. Can it make around? I got a smart car on this property in Tennessee, and there's a trail through the woods, which I didn't think the smart car would be able to actually make it around. And once it did, then we started doing time trials.
Nice. That's perfect.
So that's what they did with the Tetris.
Yeah, pretty much. So I just love those. I just think they're so interesting.
Can I tell you something ridiculous? I was trying to figure out like maybe just some stuff to talk about by looking at your Wikipedia, and under your like what you do, like gamer and like streamer and YouTuber, and it said speedrunner.
No, that's funny. They call me that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, like he runs track and field.
And then you meet me, you're like, no, this guy doesn't run at all.
Well, no, you look super fit. Like, do you lift weights or
anything?
anything?
Weightlifting, but anything cardio outside of basketball, dog shit. I did the presidential fitness course. I was puking on the mile. It was bad.
What's a presidential fitness
That's what
course?
they give you in grade school.
Yeah,
like every 5th grader in the world has to do it under can you do 7 pull-ups? Can you do a mile in 7 minutes?
I remember that.
Okay, but I want to get back to you.
Presidential?
4 more. It's just like I think Bill, maybe even before Bill Clinton, but he said that like all 5th graders should be able to do this set of workouts. Can you do 25 sit-ups?
So
Can you
is
do
it
It was
like
like the most embarrassing day of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
So what if you can't do it? They kick you out of school?
No,
you
dude,
just
you
don't
just-
get the presidential.
Yeah, I didn't get that shit.
Oh no!
I couldn't do any pull-ups.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody that can pitch at 90 miles an hour at 14? Okay, but I want to hold you to that. You have 4 more YouTube channels to get through.
So another one I think I would put on there. This one I actually haven't checked in on a while, but I know he's still active. His name is Superhuman, but 2 M's, so Superhuman.
Superhuman.
His thing is for all the juggalos and juggalettes.
Oh, I know Superhuman.
Yep,
Yeah,
and then
dude.
he does like a pile driver on a
Yeah.
microwave or like a bunch of Legos.
So what, you mean like ICP juggalos?
Yes, he goes, this is for all the juggalos and juggalettes, and then he says, fuck this shit, and then he like,
Whoop, whoop.
yep, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this guy.
microwave.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3.
3 more.
I mean, do you have somewhere where you get your news to help you with your videos?
Not
or
from
do you-
YouTube. When I look for like what's going on in the world, it's through Twitter. I don't like Twitter because it's just such a cesspool swamp of a site. But
Wow, Twitter's been the nicest for me.
Really?
Yeah, until recently when I started uploading like long form videos on there, and then everybody's got some opinion about those. So
Well, you ever see the X Shorts? Those videos,
No.
the videos that you can, like, you know how you have YouTube Shorts or X, there's no rules. I mean, I'm watching people getting shot in the face
Oh,
or like
yeah, yeah,
fights,
yeah.
and it's like, it's so different than YouTube or Instagram Shorts.
yeah, that just goes straight to your timeline. I thought it was like a separate service.
No, no,
those for some reason like
Are brutal.
they infest the timeline.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's pretty gnarly what's going
Yeah,
on.
Scott's timeline is
Like,
so
I mean,
dark.
I woke up and I was looking at X and I saw some guy go into a barber shop and just shoot everybody in there. And I'm like, did I just see that in real life? Like,
yeah.
just no problem.
I don't know what's wrong with the algorithm there, but that goes to everyone and it sucks. I hate it, man.
It's pretty
bad.
gnarly.
yeah, I don't even like. I mean, I really dislike when there's like a gruesome injury, like if a basketball player snaps his leg or
Yeah.
something. Like, I don't want to see that, dude.
Oh, like a compound fracture or something
Yeah.
where the bone comes out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are really gross. Those suck, yeah.
Yeah, if it were to happen to me, I would want to show it to everybody. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't like that stuff.
3 more channels. I think I'd choose a gamer for the next one, so I'd look for someone that's probably posting frequently, so I guess maybe the Rad Brad to keep up with like what games are coming out, because he's doing walkthroughs for like every game ever. So that'd be like a really effective one just to see like what's popping and what I'm missing on this fucking island now. 2 more, let's be tactical here.
Would it be music? Would it be movies? Would
Yeah,
it
I was
be-
about to go with something music, but I don't. There's a channel called Space Untravel. They do really small metal bands. I think I do that. They post like 5 times a day. So that would be pretty effective to give me some music fix.
You ever watch the Y-Files?
Oh, that's a good choice, actually. I like the Y-Files.
I love the research that he does.
Yeah, that's a fun channel. I think, yeah, run the Y-Files for my final pick on this island.
No, WHY. Yeah, I mean, the Y-Files is one of the hottest YouTube channels.
That's the one with the goldfish.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they're great.
Hecklefish. Yeah, I mean, this guy does his research, and I really like he'll do all the conspiracies, and he'll really get into it, and by the end, he's like, okay, this is probably not true, because we found out the guy's a scam artist, and he either does or doesn't, like,
Yeah.
give you the good
When I
research.
first found this, I thought it was like a conspiratorial channel where it's like, well, here's why, fucking Tartaria actually exists underneath us in the fucking hollow earth. But then it was like, he's presenting all of this, going through all of this history and all of these, like, potentially conspiratorial arguments. And then he's like, yeah, but that's just like a bunch of fucking fish paste. Like, that's not real, and here's why. It's really cool. But I
Yeah.
didn't know that at first, so I wrote this channel off immediately. I was like, oh, I'm so tired of seeing these, where they're like really laying into the most nonsensical shit, but he doesn't at all.
Yeah.
Is Terrence Howard telling the truth or not?
I mean, that's a rhetorical question over here.
We all know Teriology is the new math, the real math.
1 + 1 = what is it? Or 1
1
× 1
= 2, baby. That's right.
Yeah, well, no, I loved when you demonstrated why 1 × 1 cannot ever equal 2. That you used your drink shaker.
Yeah.
Like, did you sell a lot of those on the back of that? Well, speaking of shaking, just a little while ago, I led my lady into the bedroom, and we had a very good time. And is that because I might have had a Blue Chew tablet? Well, yeah. Okay, that's how it works. And why is it so awesome? Well, because that's what happens when you take a Blue Chew tablet, because it's got the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis. So of course you're gonna have a good time. And
Pretty much nothing else on my desk. I was like, this big tittied waifu. I mean, it's going to represent it.
yeah,
And if you look in the comments, man, people are immediately trying to prove how I'm wrong about like 1 × 1 does equal 2. Terry is right. It's
Wow.
crazy. It's crazy.
it's like the flat Earth situation.
yeah, just believing it because you want to believe it. Like you really want to believe it.
Yeah, what's so fascinating to me is that, like, in this, I believe we're in the age of information, right? The information, like, where we can actually share information and fact check in like real time. It's so like it's so counterintuitive that with the ability to fact check the way we can, that in fact facts are lost.
Yeah, because you can go too far and you can start fact checking for why Terrence Howard's right about 1 × 1 = 2, and then you're fucked.
Right.
Your goose is cooked.
It's crazy, man. Dude. So I understand Do you have any more YouTube channels?
No, he hit.
I think
Little
it's fire.
raspberry. I can see
You
that.
never leave Tampa. Should we not even say where you are?
Oh no,
Okay.
yeah, not. I've made that well known. I actually love it here.
Yeah.
So I leave Tampa occasionally, like a little expedition, a little journey here and there, but it's always a road trip away. I never go to the West Coast because it's too far. I'm terrified of flying, and I just love Florida. Like, I don't know, I really like it here. Great weather, everything's close. As long as you avoid Miami, and Orlando, it's not like ridiculously expensive to live, so it's super nice. I don't know. Grew up here, I just like it here.
Your guy Matt said that that you've been on like some bus trips.
Yeah.
So that's like the kind of trips.
Yeah, usually a bus trip is nice. We tried like a Sprinter van once, but that didn't go super well, so then we were like, let's try a bus, and that went great till it broke down, but up till then it was good.
What kind of bus? A bus like this or like an actual bus?
So an actual bus, but about this size. So not like the huge full buses that you'll see for like, city tours or anything, but about this size with normal bus seats.
And where do you go? You just go on like a field trip?
So that one was when we took the bus, it was to North Carolina for a Mr. Beast video. So it's usually traveling for like, if there's content up there. Like if you guys came to me and you're like, we want you on the podcast, but we can't get to Tampa, the best we could do is like Atlanta. I'd be like, all right, fucking fire up the bus, we'll meet you in Atlanta kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe have them go to your ranch.
Dude, you know what? Like I've got like a lot of land in Tennessee that's
Oh,
just
yeah?
sitting there, just itching to be played on, and I really do want to figure out some collabs to just do huge crap.
That's all. So is it just like a blank plot of land right now?
I mean, it's heavily wooded.
Okay.
With like distinct fields, like pockets of lots of space, and it's got a house on there. So like that's where I live now. I live in Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't think it sounds like trying to get you to go all the way to Tennessee makes sense, and thank God we don't have to because we're in Tampa. But yeah, that's something I want to do.
No, I think that sounds like it'll be a lot of fun, especially if you just get a lot of people out there to do ridiculous shit, for sure. That could be great.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about. I'm gonna teach you bar tricks.
That's right. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we're gonna. You upload a video at least once a day, but more like twice every day.
Yeah, usually the second one, though, is like stream highlights. If I think that a stream moment was good, like whether it was a game playthrough or like a topic I talked on stream, I'll be like, that could be a fine standalone video, especially if it's like a topic people have been asking me about. It's like, well, I already talked about it on stream, so here's the video for it.
Right, okay. And what's the, like, you stream on Twitch?
And YouTube, I do both.
Okay, and is that
Simultaneously.
so simultaneously?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that you do not have an exclusive contract with Twitch?
I did for the first 5 years, and then I wanted to get out of it. It wasn't like a bad contract or anything, but it got to a point where I was streaming out of obligation instead of desire, and I just never liked that feeling where you feel like you have to do something, especially when it's something that you love doing.
Yeah.
So I let that contract fizzle out. I didn't renew, and then Twitch re-updated their policy where you could stream on Twitch and anywhere else. So I was like, okay, I'll do YouTube and Twitch at the same time when I want to, and it's been super nice.
Yeah, I mean, that checks out because when we were over at your compound, your guys asked, did you stream last night?
Yeah.
And so that seems to indicate that it's a choice, not
Oh,
an
yeah.
obligation. That's great.
No, I never like to do anything out of obligation. So if there's anything I'm doing, it's because I want to do, and it was fun to do.
Yeah, dude.
Why is the game? What is it called? Elden of Rings or
Elden
what's
Ring.
the deal with that? Why is it so popular? Is it like the hardest game ever made or?
It comes from a studio named FromSoft. So they created this genre that has now become known as Souls games. And Elden Ring is like the culmination of a decade worth of experience. And they made this game, which combines all of it and blends it beautifully. Like it's an open world game. It's very hard, which people love. And it's my favorite genre, so I've been playing it a lot. And people just really love that formula. So this
Have you
game
beat it
blew up.
yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
sick.
DLC just came out, which is why so many people are playing it now, which is like their expansion to the game. And it's harder than the base game, so people have been really all over it.
Yeah, and I saw it because when I go on X and I do the videos,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that this like realistic first-person shooter,
Yeah.
it looks real. And then when I was researching you and I saw you actually played that game, I couldn't tell whether I'm watching something real or what. But like, what is that game that you were? Can you pull it up, Isaac? The most realistic FPS. I mean, it's
scary, right?
it's. I mean, people look like they're actually dying from gunshots.
Yeah. So the game's called Body Cam.
And Scott would know.
He's on X, that's true.
No, look at this. I mean,
Shit.
And these are the games we're looking like
Way
now.
too good.
Yeah, so this is using new Unreal Engine here. And they've got these games looking like almost photorealistic. So when you see someone die here, which I wasn't very great at the game per se, so you won't see a ton of it. But when you see it, they have like animations that'll reflect where you shot them. So I shot someone in the leg with a shotgun. He falls over, starts gripping his legs, fucking screaming like, ah, and it looks so real. It's very impressive what games are going to be looking like in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And that's only on PC.
Yeah, so well, actually, I think that might be going to console, but right now it's just PC because it's still like in its early stages.
I mean, it's not just video games. I mean, are we really just on the brink of like the entire world being absolutely changed with AI. I mean,
Yeah, fuck yeah, that's true.
Was it like Player One Ready, where everybody's just going to be in their houses on the VR,
Yep.
living their life?
Have you seen a Surrogate with Bruce Willis, where you don't even
Yeah.
go outside, you just have a bot do it for you that
Yeah.
you live through?
His wife's just in the room the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean, what is that? I mean, is that where like cryptocurrency starts coming into play?
I don't know
Is that-
about. So crypto's not going anywhere, I don't think. But I think the age of all of those like scam NFTs and shitcoins, I think that's probably behind us. It's now all about like AI implementation into the workflow. So like games are using AI to do a lot of the grunt work or a lot of like the tedious coding. And now AI is being used a lot in music as well as like general writing. I don't know if you guys have heard any of the AI music you can make right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
big
course.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's shockingly like believable.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like
Ah!
we had Duncan Trussell on the podcast. He was telling us about like creating music like in real time, and I was like, oh yeah, like what about a rap song about how I'm frustrated because I have to pee so often? Like 5 seconds later,
Yep.
we're listening to it, and it's like
it's not bad, is it?
it's not bad
Yep.
on any level.
That's why it's so scary.
It seemed too. Am I right that like once it spit out the song, like who owned the rights to this song? Was it because we typed it in? It's ours.
Did you use Suno AI? Was that
I
what he was
think
using?
that's
I think that
right.
was it,
I think
yeah.
that's what
So
it was.
that's the big one with Suno AI. You, I believe, own it. So what some people have done, and it's devious. They've been using Suno AI to just churn out tracks, and then they put it through a distributor like a DistroKid. So then they can start monetizing the tracks. And some people have gotten really clever where they do this through Spotify. So they'll AI generate like a common sound. So something like you might use as a sound effect in one of these videos, they'll do like an AI version of it, put it through Spotify, and they'll claim your video taking your revenue.
wow.
I don't even understand what that meant.
So they're basically just taking. It's been around for a while, but AI is making it more prevalent. They're taking like a big one was the Mario sound effect, like when Mario gets hit in Mario Super Mario 64. Him getting hit was a sound effect a lot of meme channels used to use, and someone decided to take that. They uploaded a version of that to their Spotify, and through Spotify you can make claims on YouTube. So they claim they own the rights to that sound
Holy
effect,
moly.
and started claiming videos that used that sound effect.
That's wild.
It's scary. It's like it's actually scary what you can do with it.
I mean, wonder if you like made an AI song as Steve-O, and then you were on the Mike Calta radio show this morning. Like, dude, can you play this? And it's a sick song. It gets picked up and syndicated, and it's the #1 hit. Who gets paid? Who owns it? Like,
Given my track record with music,
but you know, but wonder if that happened. Like, who gets paid from that shit?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you would get paid for that if you use Suno. I think they defer all rights to you because you pay for the service. I could be wrong though.
And didn't we just have a situation, was it with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, where they're firing back and forth diss tracks, but then like one of the diss tracks comes and nobody knows if it's AI or if it's
Oh, they
real.
knew. It was Drake. He used an AI Tupac and an AI Snoop Dogg in his diss track.
Yeah, he also did a hologram for the video or something too.
Yeah, he might have, I don't remember.
Wow,
I-
that seems like it's in bad taste.
It was. He got clowned on endlessly for it. He deleted it, I think. Well, actually, no. The Tupac estate told him to take it down, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
No, that was embarrassing. I don't know what he was thinking. Because Snoop Dogg's still alive. You could just ask Snoop Dogg to go on the track.
Yeah. Oof. Okay, so back to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
What about Kick and like this whole phenomenon of like we're gonna go chase down pedophiles
like IRL streams.
and with that, but without any like law enforcement, or,
Yeah.
like, without any like actual. We're just gonna get lots of views and we're gonna make money going after child predators and like at the end, and there's gonna be no consequences for them.
Yeah, so that's been big. That's a huge branch of content that's blowing up now. On Twitter, on X, I see a lot of child predators just
Getting the shit kicked out of them.
absolutely brutalized on those videos. So that's huge. On Kick, they're super. Are you familiar with like Kick as a platform?
I just know about like Aiden Ross and,
Yeah.
and like I know that
I think
that,
Vitaly's on it.
yeah,
Vitaly's
Vitaly's
on
doing the
it.
Predator.
Yeah.
Steve will do it. I think is maybe he's Twitch, but I just know that it's IRL streaming.
So they're super loose with their like rules. Like they don't really have strict rules per se. Like they do, but they don't really enforce them. So a lot of people have been going to Kick to do like the more edgy content, which I guess like chasing predators isn't really like edgy per se. Because I mean, people have done that on YouTube for a while. But what they've been doing is they found a way to make it like every stream they're finding predators. And I think it was Vitaly just got in trouble where apparently one of the guys he had out there, he wasn't a predator. He was
an
there as
actor.
an actor.
Yeah.
So
So wait. He faked it.
Yeah, so there's word on the streets that Vitaly has been paying these actors to play these pedophiles.
my God.
paying people to play.
But do you
it.
actually think that's true though?
I don't know.
Because
Who would do
who's
that?
gonna sign up to play a pedophile
That's
in front
what
of hundreds of thousands of
I
people?
wonder if we can even say that word on YouTube. Let's call it a predator.
Yeah, okay.
Let's use the right nomenclature.
Yeah.
Right.
Have some respect.
Won't someone think of the predator's feelings, please?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Who would sign up to act to make people actually believe when it's deceit, when you're deceiving the audience?
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if like, yeah, hey, I played this in a movie and everybody knows that it's fiction.
No, but
and
this
that
is
you're
a
acting.
in real life stream.
Yeah, and you're getting slapped in the face at Walmart, being like, "He's a pedophile." Like,
I guess if you're desperate enough though, like if like Vitaly has a lot of money, if you find someone who's like really hard times, like
I
maybe.
guess.
But does he? Because didn't he just show up on Steve Leduc's platforms
And he
where
paid off all his debt?
Steve Leduc handed him like $100,000 in cash to like get him out of debt?
That's crazy. That I thought he still had a lot of money. He used to be one of the biggest channels on YouTube for a while for his pranks.
Right, and then I think that might have been.
He's making a big comeback.
I understand that he's killing
Yeah.
it, and I'm not here to disparage Vitaly. I'm actually like super grateful for him helping me get on YouTube over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like Vitaly, Neon, Kai Cenat, Sketch. Like all these people are just blowing up.
Fusi.
And I mean, is Fusi back?
Well,
I heard
he just came back.
He just came back. Yeah.
yeah, and they say like there's already like weird stuff going on his channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure
He's
all
been-
these
he's
streamers have been
been
doing this for a long time, but now they're just like blowing up. Like I'm seeing these people because of TikTok, and now I'm becoming interested in these like streams, like on Kai and Sketch. And
what is the economics of the Kick and the Twitch streaming? Like,
You mean financial
yeah,
economics?
how are you getting paid? Are they like dropping ads into your?
So Twitch, Kick has no ads right now, which is a big reason a lot of people go to Kick. Like as a viewer, if you want to see like edgy content or whatever, and you don't want ads, you go to Kick. Twitch, they do play ads, and they're really a headache. They're a nuisance. Like you get ads the second you click a stream, you get ads during a stream, and it stops the whole stream for you. To watch an ad.
So does it stop the stream, or does it whatever you're streaming it records, but it just puts you behind
Well,
like
you-
30 seconds?
No, whatever's happening is happening, and you're missing it because you're watching an ad. So it's like if you're
Wow.
watching a sports game, but the game is still continuing while you're watching the ad. It
Well,
sucks.
What if you're a paid subscriber to that person's page?
So on Kick, they have that and Twitch. But Kick, as a paid subscriber, you're just donating. You don't get like a benefit except for like emotes. On Twitch, you then lose the ads. So that on Twitch, you pay a streamer $5 a month, no longer get ads.
Can you even imagine? Like, okay, dude, we're here. It's happening today. You're gonna see this live. We're
Yeah.
streaming it, and then like when the moment actually occurs,
Yeah.
Bang.
they're watching an ad.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge incentive for this person to be like, all right, fine, I'll subscribe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything's subscription now.
Yeah.
I hate it, man. Everything's going
Yeah, I
sub-based.
saw
It
you.
sucks.
I saw you made a video about that.
I hate it. It's so much worse than like the days of cable. Like there's too many streamers that you have to subscribe to get like whatever
Yeah.
shows or movies, and every service is going to like a monthly subscription base. It's terrible. I hate it.
And I saw you expressing outrage that they make it difficult to unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe. Yeah.
I don't know that I feel like I subscribe to most of my stuff through iTunes, and if I just go into like my
General settings.
general settings,
Yeah.
it's all right there to just cancel.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you subscribe to?
I mean, dude, I'd like Hulu.
The stuff like that.
I
You
got
don't.
Netflix.
You're not on anything like Twitch or Kick. Or,
I got really into football because of the they make these condensed videos of football games. So you watch a whole football game in 10 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
And I love it. I
That is
got
cool.
hooked on it. And it worked because by the end of the football season, now like it's heating up, playoffs. I got to watch every game now. Now I actually want to watch the whole game. So I got Peacock to watch the NFL ones. I got Paramount Plus to watch the CBS ones. I like literally every. And they got me roped into every single streamer.
So it's like a football game is literally only 10 minutes of play. It's not 4 hours because of all the stopping. and-
What they're
It's
doing
probably
is
just the highlights.
They're taking just the awesome moments. So, like in the YouTube version that's condensed, if you see a punt or a kickoff, you know that like some dude's about to just get totally rad running down the whole field, like
Yeah.
like or something like that. Something's gonna happen. So basically, just whenever something awesome happens is
Yeah.
what makes it into the 10 minutes.
Nice. I didn't even know that existed.
Dude, it's epic, and they get it up like as soon as the game's over.
Nice.
So like you can just literally watch. I love it.
Charlie, are you big into crypto?
I was initially. Like in 2016, I kind of fell into crypto. Like a buddy of mine was like, you need to check out this Bitcoin thing. I was like, all right. So I did, and then got into like a couple other coins, like some real dog shit ones. Dropped it. 2021 hits. Crypto blows up. I'm like, shit, where's all my, my Bitcoin and everything from, 5 years ago?
Where was it?
In a wallet I couldn't access anymore.
Oh.
So I lost all that.
How many Bitcoin did you have?
I had two. I had two in that wallet, which would have been real nice.
Yeah.
And then 2021 hits, and I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I had full-blown FOMO. I'm like, I'm getting into every shit coin. I'm getting into every big coin. I fucking got rug pulled like 6 times. I bought into something called Jin Doge, which rugged the next day. I got into something called, it was another one of those stupid dog ones, rugged the next day. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep doing it. Eventually, one of these won't rug. All of them rugged.
Really?
So 2022 hits, I'm like, I'm done with crypto. So I haven't touched it in 2 years now.
Man.
But because like I know there's video games being built on
On
like,
the blockchain, yeah.
What is the difference of that versus whatever it's being built on now?
I think it's just marketing, really. Like they keep trying to go this angle of like, you can get a skin in our game here, and that skin will translate over to here, all through the blockchain. It's like, yeah, but we have that with Counter-Strike. Like, you can buy skins in Counter-Strike right now. You don't really need the blockchain. So I think it's just marketing. But I haven't seen a successful blockchain video game, so I guess I just don't even know what it looks like, to be fair.
I guess there's one at Cornucopia on Cardano that's supposed to be good, and they just rebuilt Doom on Cardano. But I
Nice.
don't even know what the difference is. Like,
Probably nothing, right?
Does it look the same? Is it everything's the same? Is that what? So I don't know. That's what I was maybe hoping you could.
I have no clue on that, to be honest.
I heard that when AI turns the entire world properly upside down and you cannot trust anything that you see, that it's blockchain that's going to be the only way to verify the reality of a video that you've watched. And I don't understand how that works, but I'm dying to.
Yeah, like Cardano might be teaming up with every state to help with election fraud.
Oh, because of like that ledger that it keeps?
The ledger that it keeps, and they're also with the Dubai police that, like, for facial recognition, they're building facial recognitions for the Dubai police on the platform. So, like, I guess it's, I don't even understand it, but I know that it's like safe and secure, and it's.
Are you going to be watching the presidential debate?
I sometimes do, because they can sometimes be pretty silly.
I think this one has a really strong chance of being very silly.
I probably will. This one, I don't think I'm going to miss. We were actually talking about doing like a coverage of it, even though all of us are fucking idiots. So it'd be like the worst coverage ever, but we were talking about doing that.
I mean, it's Saturday Night Live in the middle of their season because I'm dying to watch a cold open on this one. Like, there hasn't been a debate. Yeah, it's insane, man. So, do you ever wear anything but that?
Sometimes, like if I go out like to a bar or something, I'll put on a nicer outfit, but usually it's just white shirt, basketball shorts, like a cartoon character, really.
Yeah. And do you have like clippers to keep your beard at roughly exactly the same length all the time?
No, this gets rowdy sometimes. It's definitely not consistent, and it's very patchy. So I have to be like strategic with what I trim, otherwise you're gonna see how patchy it is.
But you never go completely.
No, I haven't gone like clean shaven since like sophomore year of college.
Wow. He hasn't gone clean shaven since sophomore year of high school.
Really? Nice. That's my boy right
2005.
there. That's fire.
Yeah.
No, you feel naked without it, right?
I don't remember what my face looks like.
2005?
Did
Yeah.
you see our shorts guy?
Yeah, I
Josh?
saw that.
Like, he's
Yeah.
like, whoa. Like, we also, we don't know what you look like without a beard. He seemed to be pretty right on.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
What are
I
you
mean, I
scared
think he
about?
looked kind of good.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
What are you worried about? You have like a weird chin that you remember, or like what is it?
I don't think I have it. I have like 3 chins.
You know what? I think it has to be Josh put in a photo of you and asked AI to
Yeah.
generate what you would look like with no beard.
Yeah.
No, it's that face app. It's the face app that I remember. I'll send pictures of you that look fat. It's
So
the same
now,
kinda-
so now what we need to do is find out if FaceApp or AI
Is accurate.
If they're accurate, how accurate is it?
Oh, that's why we're gonna do it. Oh,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, dude. How much with your team? Like, is there ever like any just like straight torture of the dude? Like you were telling me about shock collars.
Yeah, we sometimes will lean into some of that stuff, like doing shock collar related things, where it's like if you fuck this up, you get shocked, you get hurt doing that. It's all just like really whatever we thought sounded fun at the time. So like getting shot by paintballs to see if you can still finish like a 5th grade math quiz in like the allotted time type shit.
And you don't run into any problems with YouTube over paintballs?
No.
Paintballs are pretty gnarly, man.
They don't feel good. They
Yeah,
definitely do not feel good on bearskin.
They really don't. And we were talking too, like just kind of off the camera, that I feel strongly the content creators should absolutely feature dog shock collars like prominently to expose them for how cruel they are.
They hurt a lot.
You put a dog shock collar on your neck, it is absolutely
Yeah, it's horrible.
hellish. And you're gonna do that to a dog?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get how you could do that to a dog, man.
It has to be just not knowing. I feel like the second you take that shock, you're like, I'd never do that to my dog.
Right.
It has to be.
And like a police officer cannot become a police officer until he's been tased, so he knows what he's doing when he tases someone.
I think
They all get tased.
Yeah, they
too.
all get tased.
Yeah, all cops get tased.
And they all get maced.
Yep. Oof. And I think that what we gotta do, I think not even, in order to even purchase a dog shock collar, you should have to be dog
You
shock
can't leave the
collar.
store till you try it on. Yeah.
Right? Man, we should make a funny video of like laws that we think should be made. Like that should be the law.
Yeah.
What do you think about if you're gonna eat meat? You should have to slaughter an animal. Whatever meat you're gonna eat, you should have to slaughter that animal.
You'd immediately make it a lot harder for people to start eating meat for sure. That'd be tough, man.
Yeah.
I'll shoot a cow in the head. No problem.
I mean, like, My position, I used to be like a vegan, and then I started eating seafood again because I believe it's good for me. I believe that all the fake meat is bad for me, and the actual seafood's good for me. I just had a total brain fart.
Would you go fishing?
Yeah, I have total respect for people who kill their own food, especially because the death. I don't think it's anything to be that. We're all gonna die. And hopefully, you don't suffer a whole lot, But death isn't that big of a bummer. I don't think. There's ways to more humanely slaughter an animal for it to be eaten, and if the animal's had a good life, then that's cool with me. But I do think people should have to kill an animal if they want to eat one.
Like every time or just
Yeah,
one time?
I would go
Or just
fishing.
once?
Oh, okay.
Kind of like get a license, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Certified meat eater. I've killed my fair share. I can do this
Yeah,
now. Okay.
you have a card where you're like, these are the animals I've killed, and these are the meats I can eat.
Okay. This is what you've unlocked through your slaughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all on the blockchain under your personal identity.
Yeah, Cardano's working on it.
Oh wow, dude! Now you're getting me sad about fish.
Why?
But Isaac just pulled up and says, unlike us,
Good
fishes
job, Isaac.
need water to breathe. Being removed from the water and pulled into a boat to suffocate is an extremely stressful and painful experience for a fish.
That's why you kill it right away when you get it off the boat.
Yeah.
You smash it in the head as hard as you can, just once.
Okay.
Hey, we wonder why his timeline on Twitter is so dark.
And I think all the videos on Twitter are just dark, just because of the free
Yeah.
speech law or
But
something.
do you have any causes that you are big into, getting behind? I'm an animal guy. I want to rescue
I guess it depends
animals.
on what you mean by causes. I feel like most of the stuff I'm really serious about is things most people are, like animal abusers, evil, murderers, bad. I think they're real jerks, to be honest with you. Pedophiles, they're predators, excuse me, bad, not good. I don't mind seeing them get beat up.
Right.
I don't know if there's any specific cause per se that I think
Yeah.
is different from others that I have a strong
Do you
affinity
have
to.
charities that let's say if you were to be in a situation, we got this game show, you're gonna win a bunch of money, it's all gonna go to charity. Do you have a charity?
Yeah, there's one that I always would champion. It's called Cure Rare Disease. We've done a couple charity streams with them. They're a really great organization. The founder, he was someone that was personally touched by a family member that had a very rare disease, and it was started to try and combat that and find a cure. And all the work they've done has always seemed really good and wholesome to me. So that's always a charity that I advocate for.
That reminds me of my dear buddy Latham, who lives in Australia, has a rare disease which makes his bones super brittle. So he's broken bones hundreds of times. His arm just stays broken. He does this trick where it just goes
Jesus.
behind him. And we've been trying to get his GoFundMe link out there to help him buy a van to drive himself around. He actually will be able to drive himself around if he can get this van. See, helping Latham achieve his dreams.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're out there in Australia, and Vinny found in Australia prostitution is totally legal, and Vinny found him a lady to
A lady of the night.
yeah, a lady of the night, and it was hilarious. She definitely
Made his day.
she made his day.
That's a very wholesome story out of prostitution.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, man. All right, dude. I think we're probably just about ready to go do bar tricks. Is there anything that we should? I feel like this is such a great opportunity to talk to you on not your channels.
Yeah, I'm an open book.
Do you have a favorite console?
Favorite console?
PS5, Xbox?
Xbox 360.
Xbox
Favorite
360.
game of all time.
City of Heroes. It was
Never
an
even heard of it.
MMO came out when World of Warcraft came out. It was dead on arrival because of that, but it is the best MMO I've ever played.
Why do you like Xbox 360 versus PS5?
The Xbox 360 just had so many games. So many. Every week there was a banger that came out. So
You a fan of VR?
I like VR as a concept. I get sick in it though. I get really bad motion sickness.
Yeah,
So if
me
I try
too.
and play Blade and Sorcery for more than 5-10 minutes, I just start getting real nauseous.
Favorite game on Nintendo?
Luigi's Mansion.
Wow. Mm-hmm. N64.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye I was gonna say, but I think I gotta go Super Mario 64 because I tried speedrunning it, and that game's incredible.
Yeah. What about Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong 64 is a classic.
Classic.
Also a good speedrun game.
What about favorite Sega game?
Ooh, Power
Golden
Stone.
Axe.
No, Power Stone.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think anything else. Steve, what's your favorite Nintendo game?
The only game I ever finished was RoboCop.
What? That's a crazy the original
The
RoboCop.
original RoboCop, yeah.
Why?
This was in the year I finished it was
94.
1990. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think the game came out in maybe 89.
That's such a weird one to gravitate towards.
Yeah, I was very proud of myself for finishing that game.
Nice.
That was on like the old school Nintendo. So yeah, dude. Hey, man, it's an honor to have you on, dude. I was super stoked.
No, I appreciate you having me on, man. This was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, super a lot of fun, and everybody in the video game world, like, I was wrong.
Hey, he's also a gamer. He beat RoboCop.
Yeah.
So this guy's a capital G gamer over here. This
Yeah,
guy's the real
dude.
deal.
Are you also giving away a free PS5 to lucky listeners?
I don't have a free
Fuck.
PS5.
They don't need to know that though. Just say you're doing it.
No. I would never.
Nah, we have
deceive my
integrity.
audience.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm not an audience
That's my
deceiver.
bad. That's my bad.
But I do love to reward people who stick around to the end of our podcast, and I do believe that we should give away an extravagant Bluetooth speaker system.
Ooh. Yeah. First person to DM Vinny.
The first person to DM Vinny asking for that bump box with the microphone. Boom. There you go.
But if you're not following me, don't even think about it.
Yeah. All right, dude. Charlie, man, thank you so much, brother.
No, thank you so much, man. This is great.
Hell yeah. All right.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys. I enjoyed it.
And there you have it, folks. Charlie, a.k.a. Moist Critical, a.k.a. Penguin. I mean, the guy's just epic. He's only 29 years old. And, dude, he's crushing it. I just got back to the ranch. I'm here in Tennessee. I would say that I'm probably like clinically delirious from having like not slept at all. I was floating in a lake last night for the little sleep I got while I was just waiting to be woken up, being blasted into the air with 5 airbags underneath my mattress while I was floating there. Like, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and admit that that's kind of awesome. I didn't sleep. I was just on this killer little tour. Man, this new show that I have is coming together, man. Of course, this is the show that will become my Steve-O's Gone Too Far tour. And it's just taking shape, man. I'm super excited about it. These little workshop shows have been going great. These workshop shows I've been doing have been in small rooms by design. I've never really even mentioned it before, because it's like, all right. But I'm mentioning it now. There's one more stop for this, and it's Phoenix. It's the Stand Up Live Comedy Club. And what's been particularly awesome about this, really everything's been awesome. And I've been doing a meet and greet with the whole audience, like back to my roots the way I did when I started out. And it would seem that that Phoenix is going to be the last show like that. Because then the next run, like I'm going to have big old titties. So I don't picture myself doing any meet and greets on that run just because I'm going to have big old titties. And then beyond that, it's going to be like the full-scale Steve-O's Gone Too Far tour, which I'll be announcing the dates for later, but that's way later in the year. In short, folks, it's an exciting time. And I got to get some goddamn sleep. I love you guys.
Oh, this shit. Sorry.
Relationships to help them cope. Nick, can you scroll down a little bit? All right. There's some woman smokes a hookah at Forsage nightclub in Kiev last month. Many women in Ukraine say they have a difficult time meeting men now because of the war. Men at war, women most affected, of course. For the past 2.5 years, Katerina, blah, 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 wanted to meet someone special, but war always gets in the way.
Damn.
How is this not, this must be ironic. There's no way that, okay. She met a soldier. I don't think it is. But then she met a soldier, but then he was sent to the front. She traded text messages with another man, but those fizzled out because he was in no mood to meet, fearing he might soon be drafted on the dating app Bumble. She liked the looks of a hipster, but when she scrolled through his photographs, she noticed his amputated leg. I looked at his profile for 15 minutes and I felt so sorry for him. Miss Barakna, 35, a marketing director for a clothing brand in Kiev, can you scroll down? Said in an interview she wondered if she could handle a relationship with a maimed war veteran.
Yeah.
tough. That's hard for her. Then she swipes left, removing him from potential matches. I feel I'm not ready for that. Scroll down. Russia's full-scale invasion has upended nearly every facet of daily life in Ukraine. Okay, scroll down. Is there more? People keep scroll down. Oh, okay, well, whatever. I think we get the gist of it. So, what are your guys' reaction to that? Is it hard there for the Ukrainian women? Do you feel for the Ukrainian women that they're struggling to date because of the war?
Don't you have like bigger issues?
Yeah, I was just about to say, to be quite honest, I can care less about what's going on. This might sound bad, but in other countries, if we're not where we need to be out here in the U.S., I really don't care what's going on with anyone else. Sorry.
Well, not really the question, but
No, even with dating, I honestly don't care about what their dating life is going on out there in Ukraine or Russia. I don't care.
But you could assume, I guess the point of him reading the article is, because I agree with you, but you can assume that if there was a war where the United States had a draft, that women could be set in the same situation that they are in the Ukraine. So if we were to kind of take this and hypothetically map it onto the United States, and Brian saying, should we really feel all that bad for the women who are suffering privation, the fact that their men are off fighting a war mostly on their behalf? I think that's what you're getting across here, right?
a little bit. I mean,
he should have just done a shot from the waist up and catfished. I feel like if that's like any representation of how the women are going to be. I don't know.
Just spring the amputated leg
right,
on him.
yeah. I mean, there's worse things that have happened with a catfish. Why not, you know?
Yeah, well, what you could do is you could show up with a cane and then just say, like, you have a war wound, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why you kind of walk this way. You don't have to actually tell them what the wound, that's what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't
And
know
then at
them.
dinner, you just take a leg off.
I mean, hey. It would make for an interesting and memorable date, that's for sure. But no, I don't feel bad for women for being horny and not getting it.
Because at the end of the day, it's the men that are really struggling. What is she just doesn't have anyone by her side. Big whoop. These guys are literally dying
Oh, she
to
has to
protect
pay
you
for
guys.
her own meal, okay?
Oh my gosh.
you know what's more risky than starting a relationship with a soldier?
Being a soldier?
Being a soldier.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am.
Being a soldier.
Like, he's more at risk than she is.
These poor women can't get laid because men are dying on the front.
Damn.
So hard.
It's hard out there
life's
for
a
those
hard life for a
Ukrainian women. Hard out there. Anyways, I just thought I saw that today. Thought it was interesting. Yeah, men being forced to become meat shields, dying in Ukraine. Dating scene for women most affected. Okay, let me read these chats. Actually, who wants to be our maybe I'll have you be our dedicated reader. So you just read.
Sure.
If you can read this. SS, thank you for I believe this is a Turkish currency. Thank you for the 3,400 Turkish.
Currency.
It's called Turkish lira, I think it's called.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. Go ahead if you want to read
Here
it.
to support the show mostly. In addition, raising 3 daughters right now, and it's damn hard with so many skanky internet influencers and bullshit information spreading around. Missed the times when we would go to our parents for the truth. Salam from Turkey.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate you watching all the way from Turkey, man. Thank you. Then we have another one from Order 55.
Also, congrats on the 3 daughters.
Yeah. I bet Red would try to swindle elderly people in a hospice if it meant her getting a payday. You're sick. Go ahead, roll your eyes and keep justifying your evil.
Again, it's a kink.
It's an evil kink. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean,
Watching
sure.
guys like punch their balls and you're just like, whoa! Like I think that's.
Oh, I don't say
that's
whoa, I just
insane.
laugh.
I know, but that's insane.
Isn't that worse
Wow.
though? Laughing?
Wait, you just what?
I don't say whoa, I just laugh.
Okay. And then also, guys, just a reminder, I know you're sending some of these in via Super Chat. Still appreciate it. We do recommend doing it via Streamlabs. That way YouTube doesn't take their brutal 30% cut. But thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Guys, like the video if you're enjoying the show so far. Now, I do want to get into some of the pre-show notes here. So let's see. We have
Oh shit.
Why don't we start with Natalie?
Yes.
So you're 6'1",
Yes.
and you said you recently lost almost 70 pounds
Yes.
on a similar drug to Ozempic.
Yeah.
Oh, Ozempic.
And you'd love to talk about your experience with how you were treated with men before and after the weight loss, the 70 pounds. So yeah, why don't you tell us about that?
I'd like to clarify first. It's like Ozempic. It's a GLP-1 and 2, but it's for insulin-resistant PCOS, so not just for weight loss.
But it makes you lose your appetite,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
essentially.
heard-
No, I mean, I'm on the lowest dosage, so 2.5 milligrams, which is like the starting dose. It doesn't really I eat very normally. So yeah, not really. What was the
Yeah, but if
question?
you're eating above what normally would be, and you take that drug, does it put your appetite down to what you would now consider normal to be?
I was eating normally before too.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I didn't take it to lose weight. I took it for the PCOS and insulin resistance.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Gotcha.
What was the question? Sorry.
Your before and after
You didn't
experience.
Oh, before and after. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, before I feel like a lot of male attention that I would get was more from kind of in a gross way. More. I feel like it was easier to be sexualized when I was bigger than now, which is something I find surprising. I think now the quality of guys is a lot better. I would
You
say.
were sexualized more when you were heavier,
Yes. Because usually the people that it would attract were more
or what? What were they?
older and
Tell
just
us what they
grosser. Older and grosser.
I think the audience knows what okay, I'm sorry.
They weren't buff chiseled chads.
No, they were not.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
a few.
if you had the buff chiseled Chad who approaches you versus the other type of guy who approached you, even if they had the same line, wouldn't one just still appear to be icky from your perspective
I
versus
feel like
the other
both would be icky. It depends what they pull. What they're trying. What do they say?
one? I don't know, just
Something
hello,
gross?
pretty, or something like that, or beautiful, or whatever the fuck it is they say. I don't know what the fuck they say.
I mean, sure, thank you. If it's something gross, then it's just as weird from both sides. I feel like.
So did just the more unattractive guys just have worse pickup lines?
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I was saying is before, when I was overweight, it just seemed that majority of the guys that came up to me were more coming straight off of from a sexual value, and that was it. Not from getting to know me kind of perspective. And I don't know if that's a difference from me being more confident now in how I hold myself, or if that's from actual appearance based wise.
Not because one subset of those guys just kind of gives you the ick and the other one doesn't.
Well, no, because it could
You don't
be
think that plays into it at all?
Well, I feel a lot of what I could say is that the guys even say it's what did you say, chiseled Chad? If they give me this a gross pickup line, I'm still gonna think it's gross.
Yeah, right. But what I don't understand is I wouldn't think that there would be a variant in a more unattractive guy versus a more overly attractive guy in the way that they would approach a woman. What would be the variant there exactly?
In the way
What makes one creepy over the other one? Is it
What
just
they say. What they say.
Yeah, well, what would they say?
I don't know. I've gotten a lot. This is more based off height. Can I climb that tree? I think that one's gross. I don't like that one.
I think more so what she's referring to is the quality of a relationship that a guy's looking for when they approach her. And having seen it personally from other people in my life, I think that it boils down to guys seeing particularly older girls physically as not relationship material, or not taking them as
so they would just
seriously
wanna-
as smaller
they just
women.
want bang, basically?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She articulated that very well. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything actually wrong with that though?
Not
inherently.
necessarily. It's just not what I was looking for now or
That's fine.
then. So yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. You got more attractive, right? You got better treatment from the opposite sex.
I think just better treatment from society in general too. I think people are a lot nicer to you after you've lost weight. But yeah. That's just my personal experience. I mean, it could be different for everybody.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Because let's be real. A lot of the times when we look at someone that's physically fit, we're like, oh wow, they look great. I wonder what they did to get to that, to how they look. They look fantastic. When you look at someone that's overweight, you're like, ugh. I mean, a lot of times when we look at someone that's overweight, we don't look at them like, wow, they look great. We just don't. A lot of people say they look great, but you wouldn't want to look like that person. You wouldn't. It's just what it is.
No, 100% agree.
Just like a nice lie, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just a nice lie. And it's just unless they ask you for your opinion, you don't have to say anything about how they look physically. But if they ask you for your opinion, you can be honest.
And I don't think that's inherently a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a guy tell me to shave my arms once.
Oh, no, I saw that.
Did you? Did you? Yeah.
Did I shave my arms? I did not, no. He wanted me to show him my stomach, too, which was also weird.
Is this on stream or in person? No.
You know?
Caleb Serial, I can't decide on what to ask. I only get one for panel. What is your most embarrassing moment on... Sorry, let me get that pulled back up here real quick. What is your most embarrassing moment on a date or romantic encounter, or describe your ideal perfect man in detail? Brian, you can pick. I think I'll go with the second one. So describe your ideal perfect man in detail, but also try to keep it relatively brief if you can. Go ahead.
So just describe your ideal man.
Yeah. By the way, do you have heterochromia?
I do. Yeah.
Partial though, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You didn't use your lesbian joke.
I know.
What?
Yeah. You're right. I should have.
said you had
No.
lesbian joke
People
for
ask me if I have heterochromia. I'm just like, no, I'm bisexual.
I like it. It's good.
Thank you. My ideal man. I guess I would have to like describe my boyfriend, right? Isn't that what I should do? So I like a bald guy, 5'9", blue eyes. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm with a really great guy. That's what he looks like. He's really supportive. And are we describing physical features or?
Maybe a couple physical, couple
Yeah.
personality traits.
He's a musician, which is cool to be with someone also in a creative like area. I sing, kind of how we met through musical comedy. But yeah, he's like got a great work ethic, very honest, someone who stands by his values and lives up to them. Yeah, and I think we have a very healthy relationship where we support each other, but don't have to be like attached to the hip. You know, we have our separate time. We're good communicators. I feel like he's very honest. I feel like I lucked out. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you?
Tall, usually not blonde or ginger. I know, ironic, right? Makes a good amount of money. No mommy issues. Let's see. Usually, I mean, like creative, but I would rather not date like an artist or anything like that, just because I find that the artists that I have dated in the past are not generally good people.
I've had the same experience.
Yeah, so someone more, I think, pragmatic, maybe in the business world, like something like that.
When you said bald.
Yeah. He's bald.
Oh yeah, I get that you're describing him.
Yeah.
But that's not your. I mean, ideally, if you're thinking of your ideal man, baldness wouldn't be a deal breaker. Like you wouldn't be like,
Sure.
well, I'm not going to date you because you just have way too nice a hair, right?
Right.
Like that wouldn't happen.
I
would it?
suppose I'm not specifically looking for a bald guy. He just so happens to be bald.
Okay.
But I like it. I like a smooth head. Feels
Sure.
good, freshly shaved.
Yeah, sure.
If he had hair, that'd be great. But yeah.
I just didn't think it would be a deal breaker for some.
No. What, to have hair?
Yeah, to have hair. It's like I need a bald guy.
I hate people with hair because I'm completely bald. They know their waxes on a personal level.
Okay. I like going out into nature a lot, so I would prefer to be with someone who likes a more outdoorsy lifestyle, hiking, backpacking, camping. As I mentioned earlier, I write books, so someone who also like can have deep intellectual conversations with me, maybe read my books, be one of the early readers of my books. Someone who is artsy. You guys are just saying like, no art, like, oh, arts, creativity, dancing. I'm learning Spanish as a second language, so maybe someone who speaks Spanish. I do tend to like Latino men, so someone I can speak Spanish with and learn with. I don't think I could say any like necessarily like physical features. I've dated a lot of men from a lot of different backgrounds, but I do tend to really like Latino men usually. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like brunette hair, tall, of course, and brown or blue eyes. He also has the same humor as me because we have to talk, and the character is also the same. Has to be the same.
Preferably taller than me. I'm 6'1", so brown hair usually.
That like limits your options right away.
I know. It's
Significantly
brutal.
limits your
I know.
options.
I mean, I'm not like. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm pretty against guys that are shorter than me. I'll be honest.
So it's just a no.
I mean, not necessarily like a no. Like if you're like my height, maybe tiny bit shorter, it's fine. But like maybe not for marriage.
Well, then if not for marriage, for what?
I mean, like
Casual sex?
No, no.
Then for what then?
I don't know if they're just nice. Like I'd get to know them and stuff, but.
But they have to work.
I mean, yeah, they'd have to work harder. If you're shorter, you have to work harder. That's what I would say.
She would lead them on, but.
I mean,
And
okay,
so
not
you're 6'1", you said.
Yes.
So bare minimum, your height, so they have to be 6'1".
Yes, yeah.
But I'm assuming you'd still prefer taller.
Yes, I would much rather prefer taller.
So like what would be like, I mean, I'm assuming 6'3", 6'4".
Ideal height is like, if I could pick any height, it'd be like 6'7". But that's really limiting your options. I know, but that's not very like realistic.
Have you tried the NBA?
I mean,
swimmers.
I gotta do it. Yeah, actually, yes, swimmers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really long.
They're long.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, and dark features.
Okay. So 6'1". What is the bottom 1 percentile of female weight?
Bottom one?
Yeah. Like if a guy was like, I will only date women under 100 pounds.
Okay, actually, this is. I've heard you guys talk about some podcasts for comparing like height to weight. I feel like that's like a not great comparison because
Sure,
height
it's
is something
different.
you cannot control. You're born that way. Weight is like, but yeah, I
So
get
it's
what
more
you're saying.
acceptable to judge.
Well,
a woman.
that would be worse.
I think it's more acceptable to judge on weight than it is height, in my opinion. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, wouldn't that make a worse case for women then? Because then men be like, well, if you're overweight, you can change that shit, but I can't change how tall I am. And so if women are looking preferentially for men who are taller than them,
But there's a lot of guys that won't date me because I'm taller than them. So
no, I understand that, but I'm just saying from a preference standpoint,
Yeah.
you're saying it's okay to criticize based on weight because it's changeable,
Yeah.
but not height.
No, I think it's fine to criticize on both, honestly. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I thought you said the opposite.
Well, I was just saying that I feel like it's like an like guys get will be like, well, you can't judge me on my height, like, because like I'll judge you on your weight kind of thing. But I feel like it's not. It's fine to criticize both, but I feel like it's just not a super fair comparison. Because like if you have a preference towards more fit girls, that's fine. Preference toward taller guys, it's fine. But
Yeah, but
girls
again-
can change their weight.
Yeah, but again, wouldn't that would still be worse in the preference, right? Because then you're
Yeah.
saying, because you can actually do something about that. I can't do anything about
No,
how
yeah,
tall
I
I
think
am,
it's
right?
completely fair. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I mean, and have you looked at the percentage of men that fall in
Are
that?
taller than me?
Yeah, like I think you said 6'3", 6'4", but ideal like up into 6'7".
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I think
6'7",
it's-
you're getting into like just a few thousand at this point.
Yeah, I want a D1 baby. That's
And she's gonna get it.
Yeah. The percentage is probably very low. I don't know what it is,
Yeah, well, I
but
think so. 6'3" and up, it's less than 1%.
I believe it. Yeah. I mean, out of like
Globally or like in the U.S.?
It's probably
I think
probably
in the-
globally even. It
Yeah.
probably isn't much.
Globally,
I feel like
Probably
globally
lower,
it would
if
be lower. That's why I'm
Globally,
asking.
yes, globally it would be even lower, but in the U.S. it's less than 1%. But,
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say top 5 qualities would be somebody driven, smart, funny, kind,
Nick, can you open the?
and supportive. And then brunette. That's quality 6.
What about you?
And for me, he has to be athletic. I like at least 5'9" or taller. He has to be family oriented. If he does not want to get married or have kids, then there's no point in us even speaking. I would like for him to have a good relationship with his family, because if you could treat your mother well, you're gonna treat me well. That's just how I see that. He can't smoke. I don't like smoking cigarettes. Weed, I don't really care much as long as you're not addicted to it. You're not addicted to alcohol, no substance abuse. But yeah, and I like darker features. Black men, I like white men too. White men are good. They look good. I mean, I don't judge as long as you look good. I just like physically fit in general.
Did you get any prospects from your last appearance?
No.
No prospects? Okay.
And then the guy I was talking to during that time, him and I ended things because of lack of communication. He was living in Seattle. He met a different girl, and he didn't want to tell me that. So I was like, okay.
Damn.
maybe this time. But I
And
like
he
this
was my
time.
type. He was buff. He was Hispanic, and I was like, damn. But then
Bummer.
found someone else out
There's
there.
another on the way.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Slide into her
Bummer.
DMs.
Going back to
Going back to little K's anytime soon.
Hopefully.
Going back to Natalie here on your notes, you
Yeah.
said that you mainly agree with a lot of what Brian says and his views,
Yes.
but I do disagree sometimes with his views on subjects like body count and other aspects of dating life. So we can definitely get into the body count thing. Do you know what some of the other aspects were that you disagreed with?
I think it's not necessarily like certain points. I think it's more how it's presented. Like
What
on
do you
the
mean?
show.
The tone.
I mean, sometimes, yeah. I feel like
Well, tell me how it's presented.
I don't know. Sometimes in like a little bit of a pushy manner. Not that I
you
necessarily
mean?
disagree with it. Like when girls would come on not wanting to share. Like I get because this is like a podcast about dating life, so it's something that
Like
they
not
should
share
be
what?
Body count, whatever it is.
I usually don't. I mean, I might ask them like a secondary way, like, oh, okay, if you don't want to give a number, how about the range?
Yeah.
I typically don't push though. I mean, the only pushback I also might give is if they make the argument that body count doesn't matter at all, but they have hesitation to revealing what their body count is, then
That's
I
yeah.
find-
I mean, I agree with that too.
that's the only pushback I give. But I really don't think
Yeah.
I tend to. Somebody doesn't want to answer that question. I don't think I
Yeah.
put up too much resistance. Was there anything else?
I feel like I agree with a lot more than I disagree. But
Yeah,
you just
let's
want
talk about what you disagree.
Oh, I don't know. This is hard. I like. I
Other
think,
aspects of dating life. What are the other aspects? Is it the big labia matter? You disagree with that?
Oh no.
Here's bi? Who's bi?
Bye.
You guys have a labia preference?
I've actually not been with a girl, but I
attracted?
believe I would be. Yeah. So
Okay.
if that comes into my
Do
sphere
you,
of death,
would you
so-
have? Do you think you would have?
You don't
A
have to
a
do
big
it.
labia? I don't know if I wish.
You don't have to do it. You haven't crossed the threshold.
I
Don't
mean,
do
Brian, is
it.
that something that you ask? Like, is that a prerequisite for a date? Like.
Yeah, I think you should ask that like third message. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's how you get them.
Yeah.
But I do think, yeah, like if a girl's like into me and she's just like BTW.
Yeah, that's a good question. What
I have
is
a
it like?
large
Is it
labia.
like a weird Christmas for you? Like every time it's just a different reveal, and you're like, what? That's the wrong one. Sorry, it's the wrong one. It's the wrong kind.
No, I mean I'll like still date a girl who has an innie. You know, like I can work with it.
Oh my God.
I can work with it.
But I mean, like, yeah, it is a nice little surprise. Like if it's just in that.
You really are perfect.
Oh god.
Yeah, I think women should lead with that though.
That should be like a Tinder question, like
With
a Tinder
me
prompt.
anyways. Well, it's like women, y'all have your preferences when it comes to like how big a guy is. Like, I'm like the only dude in the world who seems to.
You want a girl who wants to tuck her labia?
Yeah, she can like tighten knots too.
Right, yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
And you're bi, right? So
Yeah.
do you have a labia preference? You prefer innies or outies?
Not really. I'm
No care?
like all shapes and sizes. I
Really?
suppose if it's on the bigger side, that's cool. There's more to work with. You know.
More to work with? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. All right. Anyways,
So you're on the BLM side of this thing.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
hashtag BLM.
Yeah.
Big labia matter.
Yeah.
So
I might identify as a BLM, so I can't.
There you go.
Can't knock them.
Can't knock them. Can't knock them. Any girls here? Like, have you ever been shamed for the labia?
No.
Shamed? Shamed?
Nope.
Shamed? Anybody?
I feel like when I first started.
Tracy, shamed?
No.
Oh, okay, just checking.
When I think maybe not for the labia, but I think
no.
You made direct eye contact 3 times. I was like,
I was just gonna say, I think like when I was very young and inexperienced, there were certainly, and I was with young and inexperienced guys. Oftentimes there would be guys who like didn't want to go down on me because they thought it was like gross. But I don't think it was me. I think it would have been any female.
Wait, are you saying because you have an Audi?
No. I just think I came across that a handful of times. I mean, I guess it could have been. They never specified, but I think
feel
it was
like
more
if
of
you're a guy who doesn't want to go down, it's not because you have an innie or Audi.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, Natalie, going back to you.
Yes.
You said
What did I say?
you disagree with his views on subjects like body count.
Yeah.
So I guess what specifically do you disagree with?
Okay, I would say I think that a lot of times when people are like, "Oh, I don't really care about. I don't think it should matter," but then don't care to share. I understand like that's contradictory, but I also think that to an extent it doesn't matter, but it does. So I think that it's contradictory, but it can both be at the same time. If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I guess to argue the other person's
No,
side.
that doesn't make sense.
Well, here,
Like,
Andrew,
it's
to
like-
argue the other person's side, Andrew. So you could think something matters, but also not want to reveal it like to the broader public.
But then why would you say it doesn't matter?
Because I think it's like a more of a general term. Like it doesn't really matter, but like at the end of the day, it's more between like the partner and you.
So then it
Like,
matters.
I think it's more so being like the number doesn't matter, but telling this amount of people is what matters.
Yeah, I agree.
Then it matters.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
here, I'll give you.
I think it's a
let me
bad way to put it that it doesn't
well,
matter.
Let me
but
give a counterexample. If this is true, so I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, look, to the broader public, this may matter, right? But to me and whoever my potential partner is, it doesn't matter. But let me give you a thought exercise to see if this is true. Do you think you would be more likely to reveal your body count if you had slept with 0 men versus 20 men?
yeah, no, I understand.
Well, then it matters. It matters a lot. Whether
I mean,
or not
it
you want to
depends how
admit that it doesn't
comfortable-
matter, clearly it matters. Because otherwise, why would you reveal it 0? Right? Because then there's no shame, right?
Well, I mean, to actually think about
I think there also is shame in
like,
doing
for
that.
example, someone might, if we're talking about how much money somebody makes, and in a dating context, for example, do you care about somebody's finances? And they say, doesn't matter. I don't care. My financial situation doesn't matter at all. Oh, okay, well, how much money do you have in the bank account? Someone might not want to reveal that,
Yeah.
not having anything to do with whether it matters or not, just because they prefer to keep that private.
Yeah.
If I can understand the other side's position on this.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to.
Then it matters.
They don't want to get
Right,
robbed.
no, sure.
I wouldn't want to say
I
how much
think
money
I think
made.
it's
I'd
more
get
that it doesn't matter in like a general context of who you're dating and who you're talking to, but when you're on a platform like this and there's a bunch of people watching, it's something that you would want to keep private, I guess.
Yeah, but in that same situation, if you, in the personal finance department, made $35,000 a year, yeah, maybe you don't want to reveal that to the public. If you made $20 million a year, I don't think you'd give a shit. I think you'd be like, yeah, I make $20 million.
But wouldn't you also be kind of like scared of putting?
You got security.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, they don't
I
care.
mean, that's true. That's
They don't
true.
care. So I mean, the point of it, I still would contend is that it matters. It clearly matters, and clearly people think it matters. Otherwise, they would have no problem revealing it. Just to me, from talking to many, many women, that men who were promiscuous and now are not promiscuous, they don't seem to give a shit very much. The opposite is not true. Men seem to care a great deal about whether or not a woman was promiscuous or not promiscuous. So while I agree with you in principle, right? So I would agree with you, or I would even make the claim, stronger claim, that promiscuity in men and women is equally as bad. But they don't view it the same way.
I agree,
And they
100%.
hold each other to the standard, right?
Yeah.
So women don't view male promiscuity the same way men view female promiscuity.
I think society validates guys being like, oh, good on him. Like,
I don't
he
think it's
got
just a form of social stigma. I think that it mostly comes from the idea of paternity. So the idea being, paternity testing is recent. So all throughout human history, the best way that you could assure that you knew that that's my kid is if you knew that chick was only sleeping with you. That's how else could you determine it? And so that's how I think that revolt kind of, or disgust, is built in with promiscuity when it comes to women, but not for men. They just don't view it the same way.
I think it's a fair argument. Yeah.
I think with the body count, though, when you think about it, you should realistically divide it by how many years you've been sexually active. Because when you do that, it really doesn't seem that bad. Depending on the number. Like, if you do have a judgment on it. Because I think if you have like a high body count, but you've been sexually active for like 20 years, it really, a couple people a year. It's like, when you think about it.
Yeah, but so again, I can agree with you in principle, but not in the practical. So again, let's look at it from a man's perspective.
Well, they're not going to do that. They're just going to see the full number. Is that what you're saying?
I think that they could even kind of engage with what you're saying, right? And you could even hold them to the same standard. But they still want, if they're going to settle down with you, generally they want children, right? Just generally speaking. Maybe not all of them, but generally they will. the idea of pair bonding, or can you stay with me in the long term? If you've been with way less men, they think that number goes way higher, right? If you've been with way less men, your chances of bonding with me forever and ever and ever are going to be way higher than if you've been with 100 men. And think of it from their perspective this way, on the logic of, what do you have to compare me to? So this is why virgins, for instance, who get married, they often do report higher sexual satisfaction and they stay together for way longer. And when social scientists investigate this, they go, okay, why? That's kind of odd. Well, there's nothing to compare it to. So let's say even the sex in this relationship was bad from your perspective, having been with 50 guys, let's say, but hypothetically.
Would they both have to be virgins?
Yeah, both of them in this case. If you have nothing to compare it to, I'm sure it's the best sex in the world.
Right.
Right?
That's true.
So that's one of the good reasons why having a low body count probably really good for longevity instead of bad.
I would also agree with her. I mean, so if you take, for example, a 30-year-old who has a body count of 10 versus a 18-year-old who has a body count of 10, clearly the promiscuity is greater in the 18-year-old.
Yeah,
but it's the same body count, but
gonna have to argue this one.
Okay, sure.
So let's say it's two women who are 30, right? And one racked up 20 bodies from the time she was 18 till the time she was 30. And one racked up 30 bodies at 20 and then slept with nobody else until they were 30. I don't think a man would give a shit. I think that they would still look at the totality of the body count and be just as horrified either way.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I mean, if the comparison is, for example, if the man is choosing between these two women, say a 20-year-old who slept with 10 men in a period of 2 years versus a woman who's 30 who slept with 10 men over the course of 12 years, it could indicate two different things.
Yeah, I agree, but I would say if all things were equal, they were same attractiveness level for this and that, they would probably go for the 30-year-old. But if they had the same exact body count and they had the choice of the more virile 19, 20-year-old, I still think they would go for that one if they had the same body count.
Yeah, but she wouldn't be seen as like faithful, because if she's still
neither with the 30-year-old. That's the problem.
It may be the case. It may be the case, but in terms of like the actual his thought process when it comes to the promiscuity component of it, he can still determine like, well, on this specific metric, the 30-year-old edges out the 18-year-old, but I'm still more attracted to the 18-year-old.
Yes, if all things are equal,
Right.
yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. So
I just think that that in that case, if you're just going between these two isolated cases, I guess I can agree with that in spirit. But I think when this is applied in a broader scale to how men engage, or at least how I've heard them talk about how they engage with relationships, they're looking at the overarch and they say, okay, the number of men you've slept with is definitely going to determine how loyal I think you're going to be to me. That's definitely in their mind.
Hey, yo. Hey, Nick, we're going to do a shout out for Payo here because we have a little. This is a perfect transition. Payo, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream, man. Nick, pull up Twitch really quick. Guys, and also we're going to pull up. Guys, drop us a follow. Thank you for the raid, Payo. If you have a. By the way, guys, it's been 26 minutes since we've had a Prime sub. I think it's bugged. Help. Maddie? Help. Yo, Payo, thank you so much for the stream, man. Guys, if you're coming over from Payo's stream, we are going to start playing World of Warcraft here soon in a couple minutes. We're going to talk about the dating, like online dating in World of Warcraft. So if you're coming from Payo, just drop us a follow, guys. We always talk about dating. Also, we're going to have the girls rate.
Worse on Gulch dating.
Exactly. We're going to have the girls rate. Yo, Donkey, thank you for the Prime. Rate Payo on a scale of 1 to 10. Would they date him? And also, we're going to show them the keyboard video. Okay. All right. Thank you for the raid, Payo. Nick, so can you find the keyboard video? Can you find his Instagram? Because we're going to. Payo's single, guys. He's a big streamer.
What's his
in
body
Canada.
count?
He's French Canadian. So, in fact, because he's French Canadian, I'm going to change the TTS voice to. Hold on. I'm trying to change it to Canadian. 1 sec.
True Canadian.
Where is it? Is there an English Canadian?
Yeah, there's a Canadian voice.
There is a Canadian voice. Okay, I'm going to do French Canadian. We're going to call it Liam. Okay, so if any TTS.
No, you got to call it Gary.
Nick, can you pull up his Instagram first? Okay. Can we get his Instagram going? All right, here he is. All right. He lives in. Is it Quebec? He's a Quebecois? All right, scroll down. Okay. So skateboarder, obviously. This is some World of Warcraft footage on his personal Instagram. Next, scroll down. Wait, go back up. That's AI. The one with the beard? No way. Click on the one of him cleaning the pool. Look, so he's like kind of domesticated. Like he'll if you guys have a pool, he'll maintain the pool, I guess. Next. Also look at the triceps. He's obviously been working out a bit. Scroll down.
He kind of looks like Elon Musk.
He kind of looks like Elon Musk.
The photo up there, if you
Wait,
scroll back
click,
up, it kind of
click
did
on
look
the
like
one
Elon
where
Musk.
he's shirtless. Can we see that one? Okay, next.
I feel like you're trying to make sure that these girls never date this guy.
No, he's
How old is
he's
this man? Yeah, how old is he?
He's like 40. No, I don't know. I think he's like 20s.
He's not 40.
He's not 40.
No way.
36, 30. Wait, hold on. Wait, click.
Do the shirtless one.
Scroll down. Keep scrolling. He's been posting a lot on Instagram. He's been dropping thirst traps. Click the sword one. So this is him with like Thunder Fury. I don't know if you guys like Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. So he had it on like 2 of his rogues in Classic. Like no easy feat, right? So he's obviously like he's a parser. Like he's a pumper in the raids and shit. Like but honestly, like his PvP and duels way better. Like PvE, he wasn't big on PvE. But like when it came to like PvP, like solid. Like big on duels, but also like PvP, like he'll just smoke somebody. So going around the table, like let's just say if you're single, would you date Peo?
One day there's going to be a chick here who has spent years playing World of Warcraft and is just going to start spurting at Ryan when he does one of these rants. And I'm going to be here for that day. I'm going to be here when that day comes.
Lower it. So going around the table, would you date Peo?
I'm sorry, but no, I would not.
No.
Were we supposed to do a scale 1 to 10 also, or no?
No, let's
just maybe would you date them?
Would you date him?
Maybe. I thought he was cute. So
Peo. Okay.
No.
It's because he speaks French.
No, French is cool, I think, but I don't find him attractive.
Okay. What about you?
No.
Why no?
Oh, I don't think we got answers here.
I said no.
I said no.
Oh, okay.
No, thank you.
Andrew?
Thank you.
If you're single. Like that's
He's great.
It's taking him a really long time to answer.
Sorry, Andrew.
He's really contemplating.
He's like,
And Nick, just really quick, just maybe this will turn things around. Can you show us the keyboard video? And then meet the... I have no idea. I think, can you work on that?
That's why I muted extra.
So, Peo, thank you again for the raid. If you're watching on Twitch, can you guys drop us a little follow in the chat? Twitch.tv/whatever. He's trying to find the keyboard video. While we're doing that, why not? We'll just get into this. Stifler, ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7, starting with you. Go ahead.
Rating my own look?
Yeah.
Oh, a 10.
10? Okay.
10.
10?
I'm going to go for an 8.
8? Okay.
Yeah, 8.
8?
Can we like 7 point something or no? No 7s on it.
No 7s at all.
Sorry about that.
On like a really good day, 8.
I think an 8.
I was going to say 7.5, but 8.
Today? Okay, Andrew, would you rate yourself?
4.
I give myself a 5. So 10, 10.
8.
8, okay.
This is like solely appearance, right?
Nick, do you have the
Solely
video?
appearance.
Okay.
For today.
For today?
No, just your
Oh.
As a whole, how you see yourself?
Oh, I probably I mean, no, I probably a 10.
just
I
your
like
physical
myself.
appearance only.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. Can we get the video going, or?
It's have any like just looking up on it.
I mean, it's honestly, if you go to his Twitch, I think it's one of his top clips.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe, hold on, let me see if, probably the Twitch chat is going to help us out here. Hold on. All right, hold on. I'll see if I can, actually, I don't know if they can put URLs in the Twitch chat. Sorry, guys. We're trying to find his video. Because all the girls, except kind of you, said no for Peo. But I think if I show you guys this video, it's going to totally change your mind. All of you. No, not you. It's going to change the guys who said no. How are we doing on the video? The keyboard? I literally just typed in Peo keyboard video. I think I've already found it.
Oh, a question.
Hello?
Do you know how tall Peo is?
Yeah, I'll put, I mean.
He doesn't look like he's over 6'1".
Okay, found it.
Definitely
The
not in that
keyboard
6'7"
video might
range.
not.
No, he's actually like, I'm pretty sure he's like 6'3", honestly. He's a tall guy.
We'll decide after the keyboard video.
Okay. All right, Peo. I don't know, is he still in the chat? Is he still in the Peo, are you still in the chat, dude? Peo, are you in the chat, bro? I'm trying to hook it up. Yeah, play that. Yeah, put the sound on all the way.
Oh.
Wait. Yo, is it a rice? And what is this? We got a new friend. No, I think it's a rice. I'm not sure, man. I don't want to touch it.
No.
So, hold on. You might think your knee-jerk reaction is that's gross. But is it gross, or is that his commitment to being a top-tier gamer and streamer that he doesn't clean his keyboard? He's so dedicated, so focused. He has no time cleaning his keyboard. He doesn't have time to do it.
Does he shower? Does he have
Like once a week.
0% chance
Does he
he'd be
piss
there.
himself while he's playing?
Like I think he showers like once a week or something.
It's fucking disgusting. No way.
I feel like that video made it worse.
Although,
I thought that would help.
No.
I mean,
setting up
I
success.
appreciate the commitment. That's like good values, you know, but I just...
He reminds me of my cousin.
Yeah, I was going to say my brother.
He has a fun laugh.
Yeah, he's got a great laugh.
You throw him under the bus, Brian. You throw him under the bus.
No, I thought it would help. Because like the girls like would know, like that's dedication. If your keyboard's that dirty,
I thought initially when it was blurry that it was like weed. And that I would have maybe have been more acceptable. I
No,
don't
it was
know.
like crumbs.
Yeah.
But also, Peo, I will buy you a new keyboard. Can I will buy you any keyboard you want. All right.
Make more videos and dedicate them to Brian of the keyboards that look like that, just so that we can watch Brian Spurg for hours about it.
Exactly. Okay.
And make his OCD go nuts.
So, going back to this one, we have 2 10s at the table. Billy?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think other people would say I'm a 10, but I got to wake up every day and feel that way about myself.
Who do you think the prettiest girl in the room is?
I would say I think you're very pretty.
Thank you.
So why do you think she rates herself less than you rate yourself if she's the prettiest?
I don't know. I think that'd be a question for her.
Yeah, no, but you're bisexual, right?
Mhm.
So it's easy for you to rate women, isn't it?
Sure, I suppose. But
So
I don't.
what-
I'm not tending to
So
rate
what are the
them.
features on her that make her prettier than you, even though you're a 10?
I didn't say she's prettier than me.
You said she's prettiest girl in the room could have been you.
Oh, I thought you meant outside of me. I mean, I suppose, I don't know. I don't really like. You want me to say what makes her prettier than me?
If you think she's the prettiest girl in the room.
Well, I think she should rate herself higher. I definitely think that. I just think she's pretty.
And the prettiest girl in the room. But what makes the other girls
All
here
right,
less
then
pretty?
maybe I'm a 9.
Okay.
It's not that they're less
We'll
pretty.
say- sorry, I'm trying to reconcile the possibility here. If
All right.
she's prettiest, then all other people who aren't as pretty must be less pretty, because otherwise she can't be the prettiest.
All
correct?
right, that's fair. Sure.
So what makes the other girls less pretty?
I think maybe for me, and I hope I don't offend you by this. I think it's more I'm attracted more to her.
Based on what features, what things?
I think she has a nice style. Her eyes are very pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be attracted more to women of color than white women.
Okay.
So it's a preference.
Okay. So who's
Yeah.
the second prettiest girl?
This is so foul.
Why?
I just don't like rating people in
I
general.
know, right? But this is the thing. This question is asked because women often, when they are rating themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they're not actually rating themselves based on beauty. They're rating themselves on all kinds of other shit, which is tangential to the question that we're asking. We're not asking you about your feelings. We're not asking you about if this is a day where you woke up with extreme confidence and on a Tuesday you would have rated yourself a 6 because you felt less confident on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Just purely physical attractiveness. That's all we're asking. So if that is the case, that you're able to objectively rate people like this, including yourself as a 10, then I would assume that there's features that you have that make you a 10 that other women do not have who are not 10s.
I don't know how objective it is because I think if I'm rating them, it's subjective. Wouldn't you say?
But sure, but objective to you, even if it's subjective from their standpoint, it would still be objective from yours. Only you know what you're attracted to.
Sure.
So then that would be an objective standard from your perspective. You could not
Okay.
be subjectively attracted to something, could you?
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, my eyes, I would say, is a big one.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody else has 2 different colored eyes. I think it's a unique feature. I like that. Yeah.
That's
my-
the biggest distinguishing factor is that you have different colored eyes.
I mean, it's one of them. Sure.
Okay, so who's the second prettiest girl you think?
This is so annoying. I don't know. I would say like she stands out to me the most. It'd be
Sure.
hard for me to like level anyone else outside of that.
Is there a possibility that you think that saying out loud what you actually think could potentially hurt somebody's feelings? And so that's
Certainly.
a motivation for why you don't actually want to say anything about it.
I mean, certainly, yeah.
Do you think that's reasonable for me, after being around thousands of women and hearing them nitpick each other to death, especially the second one gets up and leaves the room, that most women likely can ascertain the beauty standard in comparison to themselves with other women almost instantly, but never actually want to say it to anybody or say it within the earshot of other women?
Why is that wrong?
I'm not
want
saying
to
it's
protect
wrong.
other
I'm
people's
just
feelings?
asking if it's true.
It is true.
It is true.
It's 100% true.
100% true. Is it true? True?
Repeat the question.
Isn't it true that women can very quickly ascertain if another woman is prettier than them or has features that they wish they had almost instantaneously, and then will often nitpick the shit out of them when they're not around based on those standards?
I mean, sure, but I think that is just like a matter of your character, right?
Maybe the nitpicking part,
Mhm,
but not
yeah.
necessarily the I do have a view.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm, yeah.
And so you would say that most women have a view of this and can very quickly ascertain if another woman is more or less attractive than them.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Sure. Even if it's from your subjective standpoint, you would still have that standpoint, right?
There's also things that are like objectively attractive. If you're
I
very
agree.
symmetrical, you're going to be more attractive.
I agree, but I just would prefer to take that off the table of universal standards because people don't like to deal in universals. They like to deal in, especially when it comes to things which could potentially hurt somebody's feelings. It's really subjective. It's really just kind of up to the beauty of the behind the beholder bullshit, right? So I just like, okay, we'll just go with purely that. And if that is the case, then you still do have a standard for what you think is attractive or not attractive. And so if that's the case, I just am always wondering why so many women lie when you ask them this question. You're going around a table of women like this, right? Why would you say that the prettiest girl in the room rates herself lower than you, who claimed that you were one of the most beautiful, possibly in the world, out of 10, right? That's putting yourself at the highest possible metric for all the beautiful women who've ever existed on planet
Okay,
Earth.
I'm a 4. Like, do you want me to lower
It's
my
not
number?
designed to break you down or hurt your feelings. It's designed instead to see if the answer that you're giving is based around what you actually think or what you think people want to hear. That's what it's really for.
I suppose if it is a looks question, so it's just, I guess I'm not intending to lie.
Well, I'm not even saying you are.
Yeah.
But I think that socially, these things are built in, especially to women, where they think one thing, but they're not going to verbalize what that thing is that they think, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not part of be nice, right?
Sure. I don't think I guess we already kind of covered this. I don't think every woman, like, we can definitely see the other features that make women, more attractive than us. But I don't think that means that every one of us is going to go nitpick them,
No, I'm not saying that you would nitpick them necessarily.
Or
but
talk
that
shit.
Or talk shit, but
Yeah.
that you would be able to ascertain quickly if this woman's more attractive than you or not.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And so if I know that you agree that that is true, and every woman here seems to agree that that is true, then if I asked you to honestly rate the woman next to you, would you?
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
You want me to rate her?
Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'd have to also start by lowering my own, because I suppose I wouldn't be a 10 if we're talking, I feel like a 10 myself, but I suppose based on looks, maybe I'd be, I'm not allowed to say a 7, so I suppose I would do, I think I'm very pretty, but I suppose I'd do an 8.
An 8?
I suppose I would do an 8 for you as well.
And one next to her?
They're all probably going to be 8s.
All of them?
Yeah.
Everyone's
I
an
think
8.
it's a pretty attractive table of women.
Think of a woman who's a famous woman that you can think of who's under an 8.
Lizzo.
That was real quick.
I don't know why
You've been thinking about that.
Melissa McCarthy popped in my head randomly. That's a really weird one.
That's a
though.
really weird one, yeah.
Oh, like a 4 or 5? 4. I don't really think that I would rate anyone too low, but
Right.
that also might just be because it's socialized in me,
Right.
So,
As far as the hurting the feelings things go.
sure, yeah, yeah.
And so the reason this question is asked, it's not actually ever asked to be offensive. It's asked to determine the delusion level. Like, what is the delusion level? If I'm comparing myself to the most attractive men on planet Earth, right, 10s, yeah, I'm a fucking 4. Of course that's true. Fucking old, right? Haven't taken great care of myself. I'm a 4 for sure. Brian, he's delusional. He ain't a 5 either. But the thing is, it's like, okay, at least a 5 is more rational and reasonable than I'm a 10 on par with the most beautiful women in the existence of the world, right? Doesn't that sound delusional when you think about it? And doesn't it sound narcissistic from people hearing it? Doesn't it actually have the opposite effect when you think about it?
I think we all have to be a little delusional to get through our lives as the physical being that we are. But sure, I'm sure.
You think we have to be delusional?
I don't think anybody is waking up and the first thing they say to themselves is like, oh man, I'm a 4. Let me go about my day.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to disagree. So I think that there are tens of thousands of men who do exactly that. They wake up and say, okay, I'm at the lower end of the socioeconomic tier and the physical attractiveness tier, and I need to change that quickly. Yeah. Well, I'll let you, you can take it from there. But
Well, I was gone for a bit, so I don't remember
okay.
where things left off.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying is that I think that men do, because they have to operate in a hierarchical system, they do actually have to be objective and non-delusional about this. Their attractiveness level, their socioeconomic status matters to them in a daily way that doesn't seem to apply to women. And so, no, I don't think they're that delusional about it. I think that they do indeed get up and go and look at the mirror and go, whoa, I really don't look very good. And I'm really broke, and I need to do something about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that that's kind of the distinction. That's why the question is asked, and why men are constantly stunned by hearing that this podcast seemingly has the most beautiful women in the entire world on it all the time.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. It's hard for me to just do looks with myself, though, even when the question is asked about looks, But anyway.
Okay.
Well, question for the whole panel. Have you guys, what do you think is more common? A mid guy with a beautiful girl or a handsome guy with a mid girl? What's more common?
Mid guy, beautiful girl.
Let's just start over there.
I'd say mid guy with a beautiful girl.
Mid guy with a beautiful girl.
Mid guy with a beautiful
Yeah,
girl.
I'll say that.
Yeah,
Same
we can all
here.
agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this might be true, but one of the issues that I have with it is there's a couple things. On one hand, if you see your female friends or just women you don't even know, and you're like, why is she with that guy? He's mid or whatever. I actually think women make awful appraisals of men's attractiveness as well as their own attractiveness. And so social pressure is a very big thing. So if you have like huge swaths of women who think, whoa, all these women are settling, you're probably going to like be telling your girlfriends, you could do better. And that's going to instill in your girlfriend's head, who's otherwise in a good relationship, who's otherwise in a relationship with somebody in her league, you're going to start putting things in her head. She's going to have things in her own head thinking, I settled for this guy. I'm better looking than this guy. Because if 80% of women appraise themselves higher than they actually are, and you have a far smaller subset of men who have this delusional self-appraisal, then you're going to have women who find themselves feeling contempt essentially for their partners because they feel like they've settled, when actually they're in a relationship with somebody who is their equivalent. And also, not to mention, you guys have the benefit of makeup, and you'll judge yourself. Here's how I look with filters. Here's how I look with filters and, sorry, I got distracted. Here's how you look with filters and makeup and all this shit. And you think that that's how you actually look. That's not, the way you actually look is how you look without any makeup, just stepped out of the shower. That's how you look. Now, the other thing is, when it comes to this, how do I want to frame this?
Well, I would take this even easier, kind of an easier way to rationalize it for me, is I think the opposite. I think it's way more common to see the attractiveness switch. So you think that it's mid men with beautiful women, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite. And the reason I think it's the opposite is because of just how high I hear women rate themselves. So I think if you're, for instance, it's no offense to you either, but if you're rating yourself on par with the most beautiful women on planet Earth, then what fucking guy isn't in comparison going to be mid?
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so if you're looking at every woman as a comparison to yourself and saying all of them are on par with you and that makes them a 10, or if that's, because I would consider that pretty average, right? But if you're considering that to be a 10, then what fucking guy wouldn't be a mid? You know what I mean? But I think it's the other way around. I think I usually see guys who are way out of women's leagues with subpar women. That's how I perceive it. I just think that women's estimation of themselves is way too high.
Another question for the panel. So, how do you think men treat women who they think they are settling for? Do they treat them well, or do they tend to treat them poorly?
Poorly.
Poorly. Yeah, poorly. Yeah.
Poorly.
Mm-hmm. Do you have an answer?
It's so tough because we're talking strictly based on looks, and it's relationships.
Yeah, there's more to it
so
than
much,
that.
You know, like if you're mid, my consideration. I mean, if we're still looks, then that's fine.
Yeah, we're still talking about that.
I don't know. I think they treat them similar to how they treat themselves.
Well, I mean, we have a woman here who said her treatment totally changed when she became more physically attractive. She used to weigh more. She now weighs less. The treatment has totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, taking her anecdotal example here, I would say this equally applies to women.
Yeah.
Women treat men who they're more attracted to better than they treat men who they're less attracted to.
I think that's just a subconscious thing.
Yeah. Right. But if as a woman, but let me ask you a question. If you think you're more attractive than you actually are, how are you going to treat the men who are actually in your league? You're going to just outright reject them. You're going to ignore them. Or if you do end up in a relationship with them, you're going to view it as settling. And invariably, you're not going to treat them very well. Not in all instances, of course. I'm not saying all women are inclined to treat people worse off. But it occurs to me that we do tend to treat people differently based on our sense of how attractive they are. If you settle for somebody, you might do less for them. You might not treat them as well.
Sure. That's fair.
I think a lot of it for girls too is like a lot of attractiveness. I know we're talking solely based off looks, but a lot of attractiveness is from personality. I've seen guys that I like know that before I get to know them, I feel like they're not very cute, they're not that good looking, but once you get to know them and their personality, it can completely change. And I'm notoriously known to go for guys that the rest of my friends don't find very attractive, but that's solely because of their personality and how they hold themselves.
That's all
Maybe.
right though.
Or wait, are you asking? Or no?
Yeah, so were they still 6'3", but they weren't good looking, but their personality
No, not
was good?
necessarily. I mean,
I thought you only dated 6'1" and above.
my height and above's like, almost 6'1". Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, height's a big thing, but I think that their personalities are more like the thing that gets them across for me. If a guy's funny and like holds himself with confidence and stuff, it goes way further.
Are all men funny? And what percentage of men do you think are funny? And what percentage of men hold themselves with confidence or have charisma?
Probably pretty high amount, but I think there's a fine line between confidence and charisma and like ego.
Sure, these are all different things, but
yeah.
I would say that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was just going to say I agree that men can make up for deficiencies by having outstanding personality, humor, etc. They can make up for it. I still think some component of physical attractiveness needs to be there.
Yeah.
But yes, sure, if they can. But what if a guy doesn't have those things?
Doesn't have the physical traits?
No, he doesn't have the humor or the charisma or the personality.
It's probably a no guy. I find that when people don't hold themselves in confident ways, don't have the charisma, they become less attractive to me.
Okay.
Even if they're like a 10 out of 10, there's just something about them that will always be less attractive to me.
The way you think really matters.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I was talking to. He had an 8-pack, beautiful, but he was a liberal, and I was just like, I can't do it. Just the way that the things that he would say, I just couldn't do it.
You did the right thing.
I'm telling you, he was sexy. His biceps were insane, but he was just stupid.
Not big enough.
It really does matter. My first boyfriend, he actually was ugly. He was not attractive. People tell him all the time, how the hell were you able to get Kishwan? He says, my personality, and it's true.
Yeah.
He was a conservative?
No, I was like 17.
Oh.
He's in prison now. I didn't really choose the best guy the first time around.
Dodge a bullet.
So
Yeah,
I guess,
there you go. Yeah.
I mean, I guess going back to my point, so if women tend to have a delusional and inflated sense of self as it comes to their physical attractiveness, they'll rate themselves higher than they actually are. They rate men lower than what those men actually are. I mean, how is this just not a recipe for disaster where women will just be perpetually chasing after men who are out of their league and rejecting the men who are in their league? So, I mean, that's why I think this rating question is important. Frankly, I think most women are trying to date well above what their looks, prospects, and personalities warrant.
I say some women, not all.
I agree.
I especially think the issue of women chasing men is rampant right now. I don't know if I entirely see the correlation between it being because they rate themselves more highly and tend to avoid men who you say are in their league. But I definitely think that it's a problem when women demean themselves to the point of chasing men, whether they recognize they're doing it or not.
Well, I think that the script has slowly been getting flipped with Gen Z. So the idea of egalitarianism, the movement towards we're just interchangeable widgets, which has become socialized in society, it seems to be rejected pretty heavily by a huge subset of Gen Z. A bunch of them embrace it, don't get me wrong, but a larger subset of them say no than you would ever imagine. And so they seem to look at this and go, you know, if you really think we're equal and you really think that you're awesome, and you can pay for the fucking dates and you can fuck off. And that it seems to kind of reverse the script, right? Now the women kind of have to chase them. And it's like, you know, we don't really want to get involved if this is going to be a lot of work and a pain in the ass and this type of thing. And there seems to be a much larger subset of that now than there was definitely for millennials.
Just one point of clarification, Gracie. When I say chasing, I don't mean that they're necessarily like doing the proactive things that men do to get women, although they are. But so when I say chasing, I just mean like the men that they want to be with. So the man could still be taking initiative because men will shoot their shots with women below their league. But the women will view this purely sexual interest and think that this is somehow equating to like long-term romantic interest. And so a really attractive guy might pursue a woman who's less good looking than him. Doesn't mean that she'll ever get commitment or anything like that. That's why women often complain about fuckboys and the like, because there's just a differential there. And you typically, it does happen to men, but you typically don't hear men complaining about, well, I slept with her once and then, I mean, look, there's some women who do this, but I slept with her once, I wanted more, but she didn't. Some women do this, but it's not a common complaint among men. And the differential is, so as a man, if we can sleep with a woman, there's a very high likelihood we can get her in a relationship. It's not clear to me if the reverse is the same. It's not clear to me if a woman, just because you can sleep with a guy, that you can, with certainty, get him into a relationship if that's your goal.
Doesn't that make sense though, based on what you just explained? So like a guy, did I hear this right? So a guy sleeps with a girl, and thinks he could get her in a relationship. Is that what it is? But then it's not the same.
Yeah, like as men, if we can sleep with you, if we want a relationship, there's a pretty good chance we can get that girl in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not clear to me if a girl sleeps with a guy that she can, in all instances, get the guy in a relationship.
I think that's fair.
It's true.
Because here's one of the reasons. So in order for us men, in order for us to sleep with a girl, typically, from the girl's perspective, from the woman's perspective, we have to be at least attractive enough to be in a relationship with you. So if you have, and it goes sort of very opposite ways. So for you to sleep with a guy, even if it's casual, you'll typically want the guy to be, like you'll go out of your way to find like a super attractive guy to do that. Yeah, it's a fly, cool. Whereas when it comes to women, or excuse me, when it comes to men, we'll sleep with a girl who, just on the basis of her looks alone, we just want to have sex, whatever, she'll never get commitment. She'll never get a relationship. We'll still sleep with her. Like just on the basis of her looks. Like we'll sleep with her, but based off of her looks, we would never be in a relationship with her. She'll never get commitment. She'll never get a relationship. Does that parse for you? Like,
yeah.
So for example, if a guy's trying to get laid,
Yeah.
like he just wants quick sex,
Yeah, it doesn't
he'll lower
matter
his
as much,
standards.
sure.
Whereas women if they want to just get sex, they'll actually typically, they're not going to lower their standards looks-wise. They're going to raise their standards looks-wise. They're going to be like, well, if I just want casual sex, I want it to be the hottest guy I can get it. Whereas for a relationship, they might recognize, well, I can't get that hot guy into a relationship because he just wants sex. So I have to be more realistic when it comes to the physical attractiveness of a long-term partner. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know that again, this isn't going to apply to every woman, but like, I feel like if I wanted sex, I would go for someone who I felt was in my league and or above, you know?
Yeah, so the most beautiful men on planet Earth, right?
For sure.
Tens, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, after discussing, I lowered my number, okay? So don't shit on me.
But I'm just saying, from the perspective of a woman who says, I'm a 10, they say, well, I'm going to go out and get a guy who's in my league. That's every fucking guy who exists, right?
Sure. But I do think after hearing all this discussion, like, I think there is one thing to admitting or saying out loud that you're a 10 and then actually internalizing that and feeling that way. It seems like more women just ask the question, like myself, would say, yeah, I'm a 10, but then realistically in their everyday lives, I don't think they actually...
Neither do we. We think the exact same thing.
Well, no, not
so
that
we're saying the exact same thing, right? Is that, yeah, you're correct, that most women will identify themselves at an outrageously high number, 8, 9, 10, something in this category. But I don't think that they're being honest. And when you start to reduce why they're not being honest, you start to recognize these kinds of patterns that it has more to do with how I feel, more to do with how I want to present, more to do with that than how they actually think they rate compared to other women.
Right. So then if that's the case, I don't know that everyone would delusionally go after the most attractive guy. Does that make sense?
Right, but that would make our point for us. It'd be saying,
Sure.
so if you weren't going after the most attractive guys, but you're going for whatever was in your league, then this idea that you were a 10 and amongst the most beautiful on planet Earth clearly can't be the case. So that's the point,
Yeah.
right?
No, and I think I got around to the point. Yeah. Disagreeing.
We have a chat here from Giovanni C. Can I have you read it for us? Thank you, Giovanni.
Brian is spitting. A male 10 will sleep with a 3 to 5 for any number of reasons, drunk, bored, etc. That 3 to 5,
Will then believe they're in the same league just because the 10 bottomed out for them? Okay. So I don't know why it stayed up for such a short period of time. I need to fix that. But
Yeah, so really good-looking guy sleeps with ugly chick. Now ugly chick thinks they can have a relationship with a really good-looking guy. That's his point.
Because women hold more value over sex than guys do, I would say, generally, or like have
You mean
more.
women? Women?
Women, yeah.
Women.
Women.
Yes, that's what she said.
It sounds like you're saying woman.
Women. Women. Sorry.
Women. Okay.
Women, yes. Because I think they tend to have a more have emotional connection when it comes to sex than guys do.
Oh.
Like chemically in the brain, scientifically that happens too. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question on this. Do you think you will be more physically attractive in 10 years' time, starting with you?
no.
Okay. Do you think you're more physically attractive now at 34 than you were at 24?
I guess not.
Guess not. What?
No, I suppose I was more attractive at 24.
Okay. What about you?
In 10 years,
Yeah.
I'll stay the same.
Okay, so you're 26, so you'll be not more attractive, but you'll be just as attractive at 36 than as you are now at 26.
I mean, who's to say? Maybe I could get more attractive, but yeah, I think I'll probably stay the same.
So minimum same, possibly more attractive.
Yeah.
What about 46, 20 years' time?
46, probably the same, yeah. I mean, just based on like genetics, how my parents and aunts and uncles and stuff have aged, I think so, yeah.
Okay, 30 years, 56?
Sure, yeah.
Are you just trolling, or?
I'm not trolling, I'm being for real.
Okay. 10 more years, 40 years?
I think we'll probably
66?
tap out at 66, sure.
66 is the peak, you think, of your attractiveness?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and so I'm just curious, so you said you'll be just as or more physically attractive at 56 as you are now at 26. Why do you think that is?
Because I'm pretty, and because I'm gonna age well.
Wait, can you just repeat the question to me just so I know you understand the question?
What's gonna make me more physically attractive? Is that what you're asking?
What? I didn't say what.
Okay, repeat the question.
Well, okay. The initial question was, do you think you'll be more physically attractive in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah.
Right. That is your understanding, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So why will you be more physically attractive at 56 as compared to now at 26?
Why? Because I'm going to be the same person I am, which is a pretty girl, and I'm going to, I don't know.
So I'll just grant you that people can you can still be attractive in your 30s, 40s, 50s, but that's not the question. The question is, will you be just as or more attractive as a comparison? Answer still yes?
Yeah, still
Okay.
yes.
Robert Tanner, thank you for the gifted 50 memberships. And you are familiar, I am, with aging?
Yeah.
The whole aging thing? That thing?
Ulises Pagan donated $200.
Yo, thank you.
He think the whole using
Audio?
woman at plural is intentional
Is it
for whatever
next?
reason,
Okay.
which he have no idea why. Because he noticed they don't ever confuse man at plural.
interesting. Hey, Pagan, thank you, man. Appreciate the
Yeah,
TTS
so
there.
this is a good observation by Ulysses. Good observation. Saying, for some reason, women can say men fine, but say woman for women all the time. I don't understand that. That's a really weird thing.
It's confusing.
It is very confusing.
It sounds similar.
Women and woman? It doesn't sound that similar.
Women. I feel like it's easier to slip up with that, you know?
So I'm a little confused, though. You said you were a 10.
Yeah.
How can you possibly be a 10 now if you'll be better looking in 10 years' time?
Because I'll be an 11 in 10 years' time. I don't know. I don't know what's
Are you
going to
going to
happen in
engage
10
in good
years.
faith or just troll?
I'm not trolling. I'm being for real.
Right, but so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the maximum, you can't be an 11. So that's not really productive.
We can't break the scale.
No.
Okay, fine. Then
You can. You can break the scale by saying that you will be the most beautiful woman on planet Earth who exists currently. That would be the 11.
Okay.
And that's a good faith answer?
Yeah, it is a good faith answer. I mean, this is what I think personally.
I'm a Martian. Did you know that? I come from the
Can I
planet
see your
Mars.
credentials?
No, you don't need my credentials. It's a good faith answer.
I'm being for real.
You're being for real.
I-
That at 36,
I'm
you're going to be the most beautiful woman on planet Earth. Oh, that's a good faith answer, Andrew.
Hey, even Beyonce don't look as good as how she used to in her 20s.
I think she
come
looks
on.
great, but I mean,
She
again,
don't look like
beauty.
as good as she used to. She
Or
was
like
she was insane.
Adriana Lima, she was considered like the
yeah.
most beautiful person on
Yeah.
earth. After she has kids, stuff like that, like you wrinkle, you
And
age.
Angelina Jolie,
And there's
like-
beauty in that. Don't get me wrong, but I
But they
wouldn't
still
say that's
look
your
good,
peak.
but not as good as when they were in their peak.
I don't know what my peak is going to be. I haven't gotten that far, but I do know that I'm attractive, and I'll probably be attractive 10 years from now.
But that's not okay. That's not the question.
Yeah.
I can just grant, like, sure, you'll still be attractive.
I know what
in
you're
10 years'
saying,
time.
but I'm just saying. I mean, like that's my answer. I don't know why that's not good enough.
Well, because you say, well, I will still be attractive in 10 years' time.
Mhm.
But you understand that's not the question.
More attractive.
Yeah, you said just as or more physically attractive.
Yeah, I said just as.
Okay, but so I mean, knowing what you know about aging, do
Mhm.
people get wrinkles as they age?
Sure, they do. Yeah.
Does this impact if somebody is very wrinkly or what have you? Their skin isn't as whatever youthful as it used to be. Does this tend to make someone more attractive or less attractive?
I mean, I think.
I don't know
You
why
can
that
try.
came in as a TTS. She's a witch. May we burn her? Okay.
Might let you if you give her your life savings.
True. Yeah, I mean, again, I think maturity. Some people are into that.
Okay.
So that's my answer. I'm going to stand on that.
Some people are okay. I'm struggling here a little bit. So, if you think you'll be, when do you think the peak is? 46, 36, 56?
Probably the peak will be like 30. I mean, can we like not do like 10 years? Like 31. 30, flirty, and thriving.
So if I could wave a magic wand that only advanced your outward physical appearance, it didn't, you wouldn't pass away 5 years earlier. You wouldn't, if you were to get cancer at a certain age, you wouldn't otherwise get it 5 years sooner. Just your outward physical, and you live to be, you still live just as long. If we could wave a wand, advance your physical appearance 5 years, 6 years, you would take it?
I mean, I'm enjoying the age that I'm at right now. I'm not in any rush.
It's just your outward
You would
physical
still be the
appearance.
same age.
Okay, sure. Why not?
You would take it?
Yeah.
The Crucible will pay for that surgery. An age
Noted.
Okay.
so you would take that?
Sure.
I mean, it's only $10,000 and they can add all sorts of wrinkles and make you look way older.
Beautiful. Then we can really.
Would you actually do it? Would you commit to doing that?
I don't think anyone's going to say that they're going to commit to doing that.
Because the answers weren't good faith? And you don't actually think that in
Or
that,
two things can be true at the same time.
Well, let's start with the first truth statement then. Do you believe that you're going to be the same attractive level that you are right now in 10 years?
Sure, yeah, I do.
If that is the case, you don't think you're going to be a smidgen more attractive?
I think there's a possibility. I can't see the future. I don't know what's going to
Sure,
happen.
you can't see the future. You're just guessing right now, right?
Yeah, educated
Okay.
guess.
If you're going to be just as attractive then as you are right now, what would even be the harm of you doing an age advancement surgery?
Because I don't want to go under the knife for no reason.
but it has the potential to make you yet even more attractive.
I just said I could be just as attractive, or I could be more. We don't know. So why would I take that gamble when I'm happy the way that I am?
But you did say that you would peak at 31.
Possibly. I said possibly.
So now you don't think you'll peak at 30? What did you say, 30 sassy and flirty or some shit?
30, flirty, and thriving. Actually.
30, flirty, and thriving.
Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see into the future. I do know that I have seen plenty of women that have just gotten more attractive as they age, and there's plenty of women that I'm sure think that they are less attractive as they age.
Yeah, can you name one that you think, who's a famous one, who has gotten more attractive as she's aged?
God, I can't
With a
pull it out of
10-year
my
gap.
brain right now. I mean, I'm on the spot.
Scarlett Johansson has not gotten hotter as she aged.
You don't think? I think she's pretty attractive right now.
Pretty attractive, but not hotter as she aged.
I cannot pull one out of my ass right now, but
That all the
let me
famous
think
people you
about it for a
of.
little bit.
Okay.
Oh, up to me. You have to repeat what the question was for the panel.
Do you think
sorry.
you'll be more attractive in 10 years' time?
I think I will not be more attractive. I think the peak is probably between ages like 25 to 35, and then you start getting wrinkles and aging, and then
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you guys are 18, so well, I guess I could still ask it. Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years' time?
No.
Okay.
28.
No.
No.
I think my standard for beauty will probably change, but I'll probably rank myself similarly.
So better looking at 28?
I think like the same.
Same? What about 38?
Probably
Same?
less attractive
okay.
than 28.
Okay, what about you?
No, I don't think I'll be as attractive.
In 10
I
years'
thought I
time?
looked great in my early 20s. Like I was damn near perfect, I thought.
And do you
Now,
think, and
No,
so
you're
you're 28. You're 28. Do you think you were better?
I'm 30.
Oh, wait, why did I put 28? You're 30.
Yes.
Okay, do you think you're better looking at 20 than you are now at 30?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
my
yeah.
stomach. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
100%.
WK in the chat. WK.
I'm not worried about age though, just
in
because how
the
my parents
chats.
look. But realistically, when I was in my early 20s, I was fire. I was
Yeah.
I feel like 26 to 28 for me.
Yeah.
Because you lose, like you have like, at least for me, when I was in my young 20s, like college, I have like a round face
Right.
and it starts to like thin out the older you get.
Oh.
I don't know.
I think it depends where you see yourself too, like in 10 years. I mean, for me, I consider that like I would want to have kids by that age, and I feel like physically wise, it's probably less. Like, your body changes a lot when you have kids.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, you got to think like 10 years of accrued sun damage,
Yeah.
stress. Even if you took perfect care of yourself, your diet was perfect, you refrained from like staying out in the sun too long, healthy lifestyle, zero stress. You were just getting like you had servants that were fanning you with like a palm tree branch, and they were feeding you grapes and shit. You're still just naturally through the aging process, wrinkles, etc. And then most people don't go through 10 years without no stress whatsoever. Stress does tend to age you a bit too.
I also wanted to check into this a little more. It's because since we've been over this, I don't know how many times with how many different women, very similar answers. So I went back and looked at legends, folk legends about the Fountain of Youth, right? And I found hundreds of legends about a fountain where you go in, or something similar to this, where it reverses the aging process. Couldn't find any about a fountain of age or people seeking to age their bodies. Could basically find almost no folklore on that. A couple of stories, but usually it was like evil and nefarious, right? That was the idea behind it. Why do you guys think that would be, that people would always be seeking to reverse the aging process, but they're never seeking to accelerate it? Why do you think that would be?
Youth is beauty.
I think it's pretty simple.
Why else would women get Botox?
Right.
They know that youth is beauty. That's just what it is.
And
Tighter
the-
skin, no wrinkles. We all know this.
And the association then for why men would be attracted to younger women is because they're beautiful, right?
I don't think I'm ugly.
But I mean, that's why, right? The general kind of idea
Yeah, I
that
get
men are
it.
attracted to younger women is because they have beauty, and that's what they're after.
Also, I mean, on top of that, if you look at products, they tend to attempt to repair skin damage that is accrued as you age. There is no cream out there for women that will give you wrinkles. There's anti-wrinkle creams. So it's like, well, you wrinkle as you get older, but you're trying to fight against the wrinkles. So you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyways, we have a couple chats here. Robert Tanner. Oh, is it not? Hold on, let me see what's going on here. I don't know why it's not coming up. One sec. That's peculiar. Oh, I know why. I apologize, guys. This got turned off. I'm not sure why that happened. Okay, one moment, guys. Let me get these out. All right, we have Robert Tanner. Hey, like the channel, been supporting for a bit. Honestly, let me know how I can best support. If it's through subs, donations, or a combination of both. This goes for Andrew's channel. Also, let me know.
The best way you can support the Crucible is to become a member of the Crucible.video. You can see our back catalog there. It's not very expensive. It's only about $15 a month.
And yeah, I mean, if you just want to support, honestly, just watching, that's super helpful, watching the videos. And if you feel inclined to, send in a super or TTS, super grateful for that. But yeah, honestly, liking the video, watching the video, etc. Appreciate it, guys. We have SS here. Hey, thank you, man. Rate Maddie and the Rubber Doll. Don't have a nicer way of saying this. Redhead, you are barely 3, so STF you, please. You're giving me psycho vibes. Do you want to respond to that?
I'm not a psycho, and I want to see what you look like.
Damn, shots fired. Shots fired. Okay. They're not, I don't know why they're only showing up for a very short period of time. Let me see if I can fix that, guys. Hold on. That's peculiar, but okay. And then we have, I'm going to pull up the Super Nick. Billiam the Mars, delusional ginger, the only scale you're going to break is weights. Damn, bro. Please eat a salad and run on the treadmill for once.
I do go to the gym and I do eat fairly healthy, but you have PCOS, or you did. I don't know if you reversed
Yeah,
it.
I do.
I have PCOS, so there's that. But I think I look great, so.
All right, Billiam the Mars. Thank you for the super chat, I guess. I did want to come back to some of your stuff. Lucia, did I say it right this time?
Lucia? Yeah.
Lucia, I don't know. You had some tweets that I thought were interesting, and we're going to pull those up. Actually, Nick, before we do, really quick, let me just do a quick little double checky. Can you just double check them all really quick, make sure they're all okay? Guys, if you want, get a TTS in, get a read in. Be sure to get those in, guys, if you want. And are they all good, Nick?
Yes.
All right, we got some tweets. We have to react to. These are interesting for sure.
Okay.
Can I have you read them?
Yeah, I'm in a shitty mood and I want to take it out on a stupid man. I'm in the mood to cause permanent damage to your bank account and your balls.
What?
Permanent damage to the bank account.
Yeah.
And balls.
And balls, yeah.
And
Don't leave that
balls.
one out. I actually had a dude give me a fair amount of money to make a custom clip talking about how I wanted to make him infertile and render his balls useless, so. Again.
Are you a feminist? Just curious.
I wouldn't market myself as a feminist, no. I mean, I believe in, like, rights for women, sure, but, like, would I call myself a feminist? No.
All right. Well, we can get into that a bit later. We'll get through all the tweets and then we can. Can I just have you read them?
Yep. I love going to the pool at my apartment because heads always turn when I walk in. Yes, I'm a beautiful redheaded goddess. And what of it?
Stop the cap.
Okay.
They turn the other way.
That's very funny.
I'm a goddess.
I am.